Hey everyone, welcome to the stream. I'm Aaron, better known on Board Game Arena as webberaj, and welcome to Open Table. If you're brand new to the stream or you're just catching this VOD on YouTube, Open Table is a game of Terra Mystica. It is an all-player commentary game. So tonight I'm joined by 3 other expert players from the Board Game Arena community. We're going to jump into kind of a standard game of Terra Mystica, with the exception that we're all in voice chat together. I'll introduce them to you in a second. And we're going to talk through the game openly. So it's kind of an open-hand game of Terra Mystica. We're going to be revealing our strategy, telling each other and the audience what we think, what we see in the setup, what factions we think are good, and talking throughout the game. And we might point things out in our own game or in other people's games, even if it throws our own game. We're just going to try to be as open and honest as possible. The point of the game isn't particularly competitive in a sense. We're not trying to win. We're just trying to provide viewers with sort of a good description of what experts are thinking as they play a game. And so because it is very open, we are playing the game as always on training mode. Without further ado, let me introduce the awesome people we have joining us today. We have Jekyll back from the USA. We have Felice from the USA and Olaf the Viking from Germany. So welcome to the stream, everyone.
Hello.
And Jekyll, you've been on a couple of times in the past, I guess, right?
I think 2 other times.
Two other times, and Felice and Olaf, this is your first time on the stream, I guess. So I really appreciate you joining me.
Happy to be here.
Awesome. Nelson, welcome in chat. Good to see you. F2O level program tune, pre-game tunes. I'm glad you like them. And actually, F2O related, let me just toggle right over to the game board. I'll show you the setup we have for tonight. We are doing basically F2O settings here. So we're doing a game on lakes. Standard auction, mini expansions on, but we're doing landscapes off, so we are doing kind of F2O settings here. So without further ado, do you guys want to start this up, and one of you can be kind enough to break down the setup for us?
Yep.
All right, sounds good. Anyone feeling particularly inspired to break down this wonderful setup we have here?
I mean, honestly, I'm not too experienced on the map, but the past tiles, well, round 1, big buildings, I think is always fun. Especially as a big builder, you're inclined to immediately build your stronghold, because strongholds are fun. But the stronghold points tile is not in the game, so that makes it a little less attractive. Also, there's double cold reward for fire colds, so I guess that kind of speaks to giants.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
I'm gonna put in giants.
Very cool.
Well, actually,
What about chaos, since there's also the shipping to it?
Ooh, yeah.
giants like shipping tile just as much, I think.
Okay.
So what's missing? I think that's what people look at first.
Dwelling bonus.
Coins.
Right, 6 coins.
Fine.
And
the big building.
Oh, and the big building. So two of the important scoring tiles and 6 coins.
Yeah, so
Okay,
giants are not great here.
Right.
Although they probably end up with either a priest or either tempship or worker power, which is not bad. Maybe not priest. Maybe priest is coveted.
They might end up with tempship.
I'll put in giants.
Yeah.
I love giants.
All right.
Maybe this is a bit of an open question, but like I've heard a lot on this map that brown is the nuts, and I like don't see the obvious reason. Can like someone break that down?
I mean,
and I think I'll just have links to see why.
Brown isn't infallible by any stretch of the imagination. Brown can be very good if they get a good start and if they secure important hexes. So I think like any faction, and I'll let Jekyll and Felice speak a bit to Brown in a second as well, but like I think Brown on this map can be stopped and can be annoyed pretty easily, but if they get some key hexes, they can reach a lot of natural browns through shipping. And so I think that's one of their biggest strengths. Oftentimes brown will start on like D5, which is also a huge leech. They're usually like a classic brown thing is to like strand a temple on D5. Sometimes you get a sanctuary town there, it's pretty rare. You just get a ton of early leech. And then like if you get D4, you can ship to F2 to C1 to A4 on 3 ship. From D5 you can get to G4. Like a couple of ship and a spade here and there opens up a ton of free browns. I think, yeah, I mean, so Jekyll, Felice, feel free to add to that as well if you think that there's other
Yeah,
components.
I
But
think a big thing is the D5 hex just almost always gets a buttload of leech, like just an obscene amount. And I mean, in C2, they're gonna get double dig. Yeah, this seems pretty good for them.
right. So I'm trying to think of a faction that, well, what's the next best pass tile to spade in third seat? Is probably worker power. However, with halflings in second seat, you can't be guaranteed you're going to get double dig because halflings might just take temp ship, and they probably should, just to secure double dig.
I lost you guys.
Oh, are you back?
Yeah, so then somebody C3 might be more interested in the priest if that helps them. If they like nomads, right?
Yep. Nomads with a priest of fire and a stronghold. I guess the downside to nomads is they'd be in a sandwich. My usual go-to on this map is engineers. Engineers getting worker power is exciting, except for that they might not get double dig here. Darklings with worker power can open sanctuary if they get a ton of leech. That could
I mean, if
happen.
you're thinking about Felice and her upcoming game, like she might, I don't know how much NG's practice you've had on this map.
Not a lot, and I'm not sure how much practice I want to have with NGs in this map.
I mean,
It is very.
I'm going to throw in engineers. I don't have to be talked into playing engineers that hard. Yep.
Yeah.
They're like one of my worst factions.
Oh, really?
I'm like so god awful with engineers, and I always put them in. I don't know why.
I mean,
Okay.
yeah. Sorry, go ahead, please.
Oh, sorry. So I think, and my internet cut out for about a minute there, so I had to rejoin and
Yeah, no worries.
chat. I'm thinking black here, just so that we don't have. I think black and brown can coexist peacefully on this map. And also, I think they'll, starting at B4, that'll be good leech there. So now that puts us at between alchemists and darklings. I think I'm gonna go darklings here just because of the final round thing. So darklings.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm curious to hear from you folks, like, who you think immediately is the 40 faction. That's a new term I'm going to have to start using.
I think it's giants, just because they're giants.
That's what I default to, but then I play games sometimes and everyone's like, you idiot, this is a great giant setup. You should have bid them down. But I just always assume if giants are in the game, they are 40. But
So one thing that Fickles is always advocating for, like when brown and black are on this map, he thinks, maybe he'll get mad at me for saying this, like giving away secrets, but he's always saying that brown should first, like, put their first placement on B5 to discourage B4 black.
interesting.
What do you think? What do you guys think about that? Like, I don't know if that would actually discourage black. Like,
maybe in some color setups, it would be an easier question to ask. I think in this particular, like here, like B4 is great because engineers are starting on C4 and giants are starting on C3 almost certainly. And then with halflings on B5, you're just like, great, this is awesome. And I'll just dig myself like to the west of the map and I don't know.
Yeah.
So to me, that suggests that NGs are getting like what are so brown starting D5 and like G4.
Probably
Brown?
still be or big leech, right?
Please correct me if I'm wrong here. There are very rare instances where I don't always just D5 B5 and E3 B4.
5.
Like with Brown, I sometimes if
Oh,
Darklings place F7, I'll be like, great, I'll just box you in on F6. But like the default is just double West for Brown and Black, almost always an autopilot. I don't know if that's correct, but that's my intuition. It's just like bam, bam.
Isn't that just like an insane amount of leech for NGs? And like we know what happens when that happens to NGs.
Well,
Yep.
if you upgrade next to them, but you can immediately dig D4 and then upgrade next to giants, right? Like that's I try, maybe I do that too much, but like NGs and Yetis, I like rip out an arm and a leg just not to give them leech.
Yeah, but that helps
okay.
you too, right? Because then you're not getting the leech from the NGs. So, and you know, especially if you're halflings, you act before them. So,
Oh God,
so
I
I
don't
think
know.
that also discourages you. It's a tough call, and then you're also giving up the leech from D6, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess my thought with Brown is if Darklings are going E3, B4, which we don't know that, but starting with one variable at a time, if they were there, wouldn't you want to start on B5? If nothing else, just to box Black in? Like, let's say you really want to be on F6 as halflings because you want to develop around there. Well, start on B5. And then, like, now you just, like, made a wall where it's like, Black, you stay over here. I'll get there eventually. That's sort of my thought. And often with Black, I guess I've just sort of, like, in school of Nerdcube, but I'm sort of hashtag double West for life. Maybe a little too hard. And then my B5 D5 is the response to double West for life. It's just like, okay, we'll just coexist. You take West side, I take East side.
All right, sure.
I
I'll
don't
go
know.
halflings.
I'll go halflings. Brown train. I was convinced.
Wait, that convinced you and that halflings
I
are the
don't
best?
know.
Yeah, I think that because of the awkward starting positions for Black, that Brown is a little better.
I don't know.
Because you have to set both dwellings before the last halfling's dwelling, so halflings can box you in. I think.
Oh, do Darklings take dig here?
I mean,
Do right?
see spade, take spade. I guess the only problem is that our Giants just taking temp ship here in first seat because there's nothing else good for them, and they have first action workers because there's no bonus 6. That sucks.
Oh, I think temp ship goes. Oh, you mean the 3 points? I mean the 0 points 3 power tile.
Oh, maybe. Oh, you're right. Halflings might take temp ship. I guess my concern here is if Giants. Well, Giants, are they going to take ship VP so they can take a worker's action? I don't know. Are they that desperate? Maybe.
I think the priest to fire is so nutty for giants, they're gonna be really happy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So Darklings can start on the spade and get a worker's action. Probably.
Yes. Unless engineers want to
Workers
deny them for
action.
some reason, but I believe you're right. So then Darklings can start with temple and 2 dwellings. That's always pretty good.
Yeah, and they might also. Oh, Giants probably first action Priest to Fire, because actually I would consider sending. I super would send a Priest to Fire first action as Darklings.
Yeah.
I mean, the 2 workers are better than building a dwelling economically, and you're like certainly just opening Fire 1 in the setup. There's like literally 6 coins in the entire game.
Yeah. Which makes
Darklings can open
engineers-
on worker power and open sanctuary. Yeah, I guess that's the other thing. Are you just supposed to make a play
Like
for
use
sanctuary?
their priest as a worker?
Yeah. You just need 4 leech, basically.
Is that better though?
I mean, it hits the track by 9 points better.
Yes. Actually, well, yeah, that's true.
I mean, you could also wait 2 more rounds to build it then, round 3, the sanctuary.
I guess.
You know,
I don't know.
I have a question that I've never really quite figured out, which is, you know, how much do you do bid based on where you think people's initial placements are going to be? Because, you know, sometimes the outcome can be so So varied, right? Like, so say, you're picking NGs, and you're thinking, oh well, if giants place here, then I'm in good shape, but if they place there, then I'm in terrible shape. So what do you bid?
So, like, where is Giant's
It's,
second placement?
Probably, wow. Huh.
I almost think it's G2, which is pretty bad
Yeah,
for
the secure
NGs.
connection. But
yeah, I don't know Giants well enough to know G2 versus C7. Are those the sort of standard Giants spots for second dwelling?
Yeah, C7 normally, but it's
Why do you
no
think
neighbor.
this might be a G2 setup? What about the screams C or G2 versus C7?
Well, because nobody is coming to the C7 spot in like for like a really long time. Who's
And not
coming?
only that, but the C3, you're not going to have access. It's going to be hard to connect because darklings are going to be at B4. You've got
True.
NGs at C4. You've got halflings at D5. So
Yeah.
how do you
They're not
connect to C7 if you're at C3?
since you have to place the priest first action, isn't C3 just donating way too much lead to everyone else?
Yeah.
And you could be really spicy and just not start C3.
Yeah.
I think that's way too good for NGs.
Yeah. So there we go, right? Yeah. So
So
if giants start like C7 G2, for example, or E5 G2 or something, I mean, yeah. Where would you start if you didn't start C3?
I think I would honestly place the first dwelling on E5 because that
Whoa.
just many options. It never has a neighbor, but then the second dwelling goes to the neighbor and see where the rest of the people place. But once you have E5 as giant,
I would never ever leave C3 open for NGs. Like that, we've seen in all the FTO games how crucial that hex is for NGs. Like, and they're getting like, you don't get network if you don't get C3.
okay, so then that would be donating
Yeah,
the game.
like C3, I've in first seed as engineers taken the ship, like just taken like ship BP, so I can double dig, or even if I don't have power, we'll just first action single dig C3 to secure it if you're given the option. If there's pressure on it, like if it's against nomads or something, like it's such a sick hex to have. Because
I'm honestly just bidding on Darklings
I
without
don't
really
know.
thinking because I always underbid Darklings.
Yeah, I don't really know either. My anti-giant bias says all these things are 10 points better, so I am just sort of like clicking kind of blindly.
Let me see. I'll probably be the one to jump on Giants. Let me think if.
But how many points do you want on everything?
As much as possible.
In a competitive game, yes, Jekyll, but I mean, like, what's your reservation price? You have to expose that here.
I think they're not that far away because they hit the track pretty well, but I would agree that 10 points are a solid difference to everyone else.
Can they like them getting priest or not is really big.
I'm
Okay.
pretty sure the priest.
How do they knock it, like what are sort of two ways that the pass tiles can break down? Like what are a couple ways? Like I think that's an interesting way to look at games. Some games are pretty obvious. Like if giants are in fourth seat, they take the big building tile, and you can get a pretty clean sequence of what tiles people are getting. But right away with darklings, could be the spade, it could be worker power, but it's almost certainly one of those two. And then from there you have two different branches. So like, does anyone sort of want to talk through those?
Are pretty similar because regardless of which one Darklings take, NGs takes the other.
Okay,
right?
they take the other. Fair enough.
Yes, worker power goes to Darklings if they really want to try the Sanctuary, and if they don't, then worker power goes to NGs, and the spade is also gone. So the question is, do halflings want the priest? And I don't see them wanting the priest.
I mean, getting the first priest to
Okay,
fire
so
is
Giants
halfling.
get the
Sorry, go ahead.
priest. So Giants getting the priest means I think that round 2 they'll be able to get a temple out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can get Earth 1, and probably they'll be first to pass, so they'll also get coins maybe coins and then like coins scroll plus coins action, like, and workers off the call. It does seem good. I don't know if I'm ready to jump on that yet.
Wait,
but
so why would giants get Earth 1?
The track is pretty good late game. Like TP into town, I guess like there's some overlap there, but then like followed by dwellings, that's really good.
Oh, sorry. What I meant was, how is it that 3 copies of Earth 1 aren't gone by round 2?
Someone will probably be busy doing something else.
Okay.
I don't know. That's kind of vague, but I mean,
Yes, there is a line for like fire 1 and halflings take the priest and then they send the priest to fire to get those rewards, which would make NGs a lot better again, because they get double dig then. Man. I think halflings are basically the breaking point of the starting round, if they want the priest and start fire 1 or not.
I would think that halflings want double dig a lot more than the priest.
but and I don't think this is correct, but you'd have to really like figure out round 1 placements and who's getting leech. But if Darklings took worker power and engineers took spade, that does relieve a lot of pressure off of double dig. Yes, engineers like 3 spades in round 1 because 3 spades is better than no spades, but it does kind of suggest that engineers might go to temple dwelling, something like that, use their power for coins or whatnot. In which case, can halflings do a super greedy thing where they actually take the priest, send it to fire, open fire 1, and get double dig? Because that sounds fun. And then giants take temp ship or something? I don't really, or 4 coins in a cult step? Probably 4 coins in a cult step at that point.
So you would need 3 leech. You get 1 leech from sending the priest. You would need, as halflings, 2 people to upgrade next to you.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's...
Well, that could totally happen.
You will absolutely get the leech for double dig in round 1. The question is whether you get it before engineers get it, because of just how the upgrading happens, and whether or not engineers will take it if they do get it.
Well, as halflings, you cannot upgrade first because you have to send the priest to fire immediately, right?
That's true.
Only getting the giant leech, which is only 1. So if darklings, but if darklings really do take worker power, I think halflings would be in a really good shape. Yeah.
And I think I may not have seen this at first, but like worker power isn't that, as long as you're willing to convert your priest into a worker, isn't any harder to get a sanctuary out than starting on the big building tile, basically. So yeah. And so I forget who it was who pointed that out initially. I think it was Terra Steel or something. I think, you know, you might have to figure that out a little bit, whether that priest needs to go to, like, can go to fire, and whether you still get enough leech sending it to fire and all that kind of stuff. But like, I think if Darklings can't open Sanctuary here, they should try to figure that out, I guess. So it's a little risky, but like the more that I think about this, I think Darklings should start on worker power. Which means I think engineers are opening 2 temple dwelling, and I think halflings send the priest to fire and get double dig and fire 1.
So giants start temp ship.
Sorry.
And take the workers. Like darklings not get the workers again.
I think giants probably start 4 coins in a cult step and bump fire for a round 2 worker.
Fair enough. Yeah.
I don't know.
This is so much more complicated than I thought. I thought this stuff was obvious, but now
so you're saying temp ship is gonna, if giants start with temp ship first, or the option will be temp ship versus 4 coins in a cult step, I would take temp ship and take workers and then put down 2 dwellings.
Mm-hmm.
That would ruin Darkling's day.
Then Darklings basically, unless they just get Infinity Leech, don't get Sanctuary. Yes, there's all kinds of weird stuff.
So then I think we're back to Darklings have to start Spade again.
I'm just going to overbid engineers, because that's what this stream is an overbidding engineer stream. and let someone else.
I'm thinking halflings are pretty good with temp ship because then you can, if you get double dig, you can go, yeah, F4, G4, or C5.
Yeah, you super can.
That's all looking really good.
I mean, it's a little awkward with halflings to take temp ship because if you take double dig, you dig what? Well, again, if you start D5, B5, and maybe the answer is you don't do that. But if I was on halflings and I started there and I get double dig, I'm digging A7, F4 because that's what you can dig. And then you build on F4. You want to use your range while you have it, so you get on G4, and then you leave A7 brown and head a darkling.
Why wouldn't you do C5, F4?
Don't you have to take D4 before giants stomp it?
C5. C5. Oh, I see. Yeah, I guess you could, but then again, you sort of run into the same issue. Like you can't build on C5, F4, and G4. You have to leave something. If you want to get to G4 using your temp ship that round, which I think you probably want to, you're going to leave something brown, unless you leech enough to take a worker's action as well, or 3 power to worker, or don't build a temple or something.
Right.
So
where's the rush to get to G4?
No rush, just good to get down there.
Okay.
NG will probably be down there doing stuff. I don't know. In my mind, Lakes is all about, like, there's choke points on the map, and whoever gets to the choke points first wins. It's obviously not quite that simple, because you also need to score points, but, like, yeah, Lakes is just kind of cutthroat choke points. You want to get them all quickly and get a position.
There is one main lake here, and that's the one in the middle.
Yeah.
Right? It's not a ton of lakes that are important. It's this one in the middle. And getting the important points around it, I think, is pretty important.
Yeah.
Just it gives you a lot of options later in the game, in addition to, you know, connecting. This lake, this central lake is.
Okay, so after...
I started to think that the G2 start for giants is too limiting. Like, you're basically never going to get to the west this way. And
what?
That's too many natural reds. How would you get to the west if you start east? Sorry.
Oh, yeah. No, you super aren't, because I think as engineers you start in H5, and if giants are at G2, you single spade, double spade, bonus spade, you do something on G3 super quick.
Yeah.
And then you just have a really nice neighbor down there. Yeah. So after 27 minutes of us bidding, so far we have all the factions the same and giants the worst. So we haven't improved in our understanding of who's best here.
Well, I think it depends again on what halflings do for giants. Like spade, I mean the priest thing is the one thing. If halflings do for some reason take the priest, and the second thing is if halflings want to dig D4, because if giants can somehow, if darklings don't start on E3 and giants could like dig from C3 to D4, E4 somehow, that would be great. But I don't know if the halflings take D4 immediately.
Yeah, because F4 to me seems better. F4, G4 seems better than D4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, if I were on the halflings, I think I would take D4 if giants are on C3. And get E3 as well. It depends on where darklings are. If darklings are on E3, then I would not, because then D5 is not becoming a town anyways. But if darklings are on E3, that means E4 is not going to giants, which leads to the same issue again. So I think giants aren't connecting C3 either way.
Cats, Pickles? That's great. Why don't I love Darklings here? I just don't. I don't know. This is a lot to pay for engineers.
I've seen on this map, like, I think I've only seen it once, was that the giant started on D9 and black came over to D8 and did not dig E8 for some reason. I don't know if that's it. Or like, I think that can't happen here because brown can sit on E8. Sometimes that's a spicy
Oh,
line.
don't worry, George. Our cat is not sad. He's just very needy. All right.
Okay.
Is it soon Giants time? Or is our halfling still good here? I don't know. Someone pointed out on Rainier streamer, I think it was Terra Steel, I think, but was like that. I think with auction, people are like bidding things a lot more because it still looks okay, 24 at engineers, but like if you you have to, it's psychological, right? Like I have to subtract 10 from everything to figure out how I would feel about it. So we have giants sitting at 30, we bid halflings to 20, that's respectable. Engineers are 14. It's probably okay, but and then Darklings are at 18. I don't know. I've been doing that in last arena game or so that I played, just trying to make sure that I'm still okay with these prices.
And it looks like a low-scoring game, right?
Well,
So.
round 4 trading
Well,
posts I always think is...
towns is...
Yeah.
I think that maybe giants don't go G2. I think they go C3, C7, and they try to get 3 towns.
Fatty was saying in chat, he says, I think I would start C3 and E5 as giants. Now, I don't know much about giants, but I play a lot of engineers. And all the different starting spots as giants were like, if I was engineers, I'd be like, okay, well, I'd be okay with that. And I'd be okay with that too. And then Fatty mentioned C3, E5. And I'm like, oh, that actually kind of sucks for engineers. And so I'm wondering if that's a sign that it's actually good for halflings. Or sorry, that it's good for giants. Because that actually seems like possibly quite annoying to engineers.
It would be super annoying to engineers, but does it help giants a lot? I mean,
I think it doesn't hurt them because if you start C7, you're not getting leech anyway.
mm-hmm.
It's not like the C7 versus E5. Like you can get to C7 before C7 would ever get any leech.
I mean, maybe, and I just thought about this, like maybe if giants start C7, giants are probably just getting to E5 before engineers anyhow. So maybe it doesn't matter.
Are they?
Well, I mean, if you have a really explosive engineer, if you dig D6, I guess you might. If giants start on C7, see, I think engineers are probably opening 2 temple dwelling here, I think. I think they probably get a spade or they get worker power and then they just take single spades, something. If giants aren't on G2, then their only second neighbor is D6. So if giants aren't on G2 and they're on C7, that actually means that the spade is going on D6. Because there's probably 2 temples there at the end of the round. Which means they're already developed on D6, tempt ship and another spade gets into E5. So, yeah, so by giants rushing over to C7, it actually, by how engineers have to develop, points them towards E5. Which kind
E5 is nice.
Which kind of makes E5 better, now that I think. Yeah. I don't know.
Just the amount of options you get from E5 and what shipping is insane on giants. Also, you're such a threat to everyone in the middle.
Yeah.
Just increase shipping once and everyone runs, right?
Exactly.
So let's see. Halflings take double dig. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4 actions. 4 passing, and giants would have they go TP, big building. Used to call 4 actions. So they would pass first. It would be nice to get tempship second round.
This is where Jekyll's async mind is coming in. She's already figured out how round 1 is completed and the passing order and who's on what bonus tiles in round 2.
All right, maybe I'll just go giants.
That's the tone of voice of everyone who takes the 30 faction, 40 faction. It's like,
I'm always
I guess I'll take Orin here.
Like, everybody's still willing to bid like 5 more down on everything.
Well,
I think considering
Probably,
we're
maybe.
getting that crazy good fire priest, I think it makes sense that like giants aren't more than 10 points weaker. Also, they're the only one that gets these 5 points from round 1, which is the 5 points we
Darkman's mine.
did for. Well, I mean, yeah, they might theoretically. We'll see.
So I have to. Okay, I'm interested to see where you're placing here, Felice. This is B4 E3
Oh,
stuff.
gosh.
Before, okay. Now it's interesting.
Well, so yeah, sometimes I don't like. I'll give the fourth faction like a 5-point handicap just because they have to place their schedule.
I think there are a lot of good options. I think it doesn't have to be E3.
Halflings and Darklings seem like a deal. Terra Steel just says that everything is a deal in any auction other than the faction that I get. I think that's a strategy.
Yeah, I see giants starting on E5. I mean, that's what I would have expected. Of course, we don't know what Jackal's gonna do, but that would have led me to value NGs worse than halflings and darklings, actually.
I just go H5 here, and then Jekyll can either be annoying to me on G2 or annoying to me on E5 or whatever. I'll just let you decide what strain of annoying you're going to be to me.
So I think it's still B5, right?
I think so.
Yeah. I was hoping black would either come not on B4 or not to E3, either one.
Yeah, I mean, if black's not on E3, that is, I think, the best thing for brown on this map, because you get a sanctuary town and you get that southern stuff that's super nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so hard to get that southern stretch, D4, E3. If you can get a sanctuary town there as brown, that's usually a sign that you're, like, winning. Heroic, NGs without access to C2, C3, we'll see. If Jekyll goes on G2, correct. If she goes on E5 or C3, then my life is a disaster on the east, but I get F3 and probably D3. I mean, again, I will be fighting giants for that hex, but there's definitely a chunk of the map that will be tricky. I mean, the one good thing about giants is giants don't have any particular interest in grays. It's just that there's often red hexes amongst town spots. So, going to be so much leech. Yes, indeed. Everyone's looking forward to it.
Yeah, maybe I'll try this E5. I've never done it.
Now the question is, can you start on E5 and then get to D3 before me? I don't even know. Like, I think that must be a pretty good hex for giants, right? Because you can just bridge town. So I think then that's when it's really annoying, because you have temple on the east, but then if you can somehow beat me to D3, then I'm just like in a little box. All right.
So I took that booster tile to give myself a fighting chance of getting workers.
Yep.
It might not work out that way.
Wow. Okay. So I have to take the priest here, I think. I mean,
Oh,
Do you? I mean,
I'm greedy.
if you take priest, then Jekyll. That's annoying for Jekyll and annoying for Darklings, because I think Jekyll takes, as you said, temp ship, first action, action 3.
I think this is also something that people sometimes. I think Deep Finesse does it a lot. Like, I'm gonna be mean and call it like hate playing. But if you can hurt 2 players by taking a line that's like pretty much as good as the other line, it's like, of course it's not a 1v1 game, but hurting 2 players is really good in a 4-player game. And I think this hurts Darklings and Giants a lot.
Yeah, and is it 0 cost aggression? Because are you still getting double dig and you still have a place to spade? I mean, getting to G4 is nice, but it's not under threat. You can expand there next round. Yeah. Hey, Red, thanks so much. I appreciate it.
The wrench that this throws in my plans is that now I don't pass first, I think.
So do I upgrade D5? And it's a dead temple for more leech? Or do I place the priest to... I think I just place the priest. Yeah. I think that's safe.
I mean, Fire 1 is very good here because there's so low coins.
Yes. It's true. So I might have gone Fire 1 even without having that priest in there, so just now it seems like a no-brainer. Also, I think I'm guaranteed to get 2 leech because engineers do upgrade.
Well, if there was a way that I could be annoying by taking double dig here, I would, and just take all the spades, even though I would just like leave one of them empty or something. But what I would have to do is like, well, I guess I could like dig G3 and build a dwelling. Aha. And then Darklings upgrade, because they won in on the power party, and then Jekyll needs to upgrade, and then you take double dig, and then I have less leech, and I'm sad, so I just upgrade.
So this is, I think we actually had this as a line in the auction, but we dismissed it for some reason. Like getting double dig on halflings and the priest to fire. I feel like that's so good. Like, I know I'm tired and it's it's late at night, so I might mess up.
I think like the reason we slightly dismissed it, I mean, we sort of went through an odd process of elimination, but it was something like, if Darklings take worker power, it sends everyone down a pastile branch that ends up with Giants on temp ship taking workers, thus eliminating Darklings' possibility of sanctuary, so Darklings should just take the spade. And then engineers are on worker power, so do you know what I mean? You'd have to take a power tile to take double dig, so your priest of fire would be giving me double dig. I think there was something like that.
So this was predictable, right? In theory. That's crazy.
Yeah. Giants can annoy halflings with temp ship now.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I see it. C5A8.
What? Why is? Oh yeah, that's pretty annoying.
I think halflings have to play the east now, right? I mean, and the west, sorry, which is really weird for black. And oh man, this is.
Oh my god, I've never seen that. C5A8. That would be so attacking.
I think that's just.
Do you hear the excitement in my voice?
Oh, we all do. Yeah, we super do.
E5 just lets you attack anyone you want whenever you want. It's so great. I love it. I think I will only start E5 Giants on this map from now on.
So I'm trying to decide right now if I probably, like if I try to open 2 temple dwelling here, I would need a worker for 5, 6, 7, 8, and I would need 11 coins. So I have enough stuff for that. I'm always just double checking my math because I say things that seem obvious and then I later find out they're wrong. But I would need a temple on C4, a dwelling on C2, on D6, a trading post, and then another temple. So the temples are 8 coins, plus the trading post is 2, that's 10, and the dwelling is 11. So I need 11 coins, so I need a coin. And then in terms of workers, I need temple, dwelling, trading post, temple. So I need a worker and a coin, and I have that in power. So I'm going to do that. And so I'm going to build my temple first. I'm going to greed the extra 2 points. I'm opening double temple here. So I'm going to take Earth 1 first, build a dwelling on D6, and then just sort of keep going from there. Now, there was possibly an argument for me taking the coins action there, but I don't know.
So where would you upgrade if you were halflings here? Oh, I think I made a technical error. I should have. Did I know Darklings was building A6 instead of E4?
Instead of E4. E4. Well, E4 isn't, I think, that interesting to Darklings. I mean, it. I don't know.
Well, with giants going up to A8, I just wanted to make sure that halflings were really in.
And actually, it didn't matter because then I would have had one less leech from giants. So I think it was same difference.
Yeah.
So it wasn't actually a technical error. Didn't matter. Okay.
Oh, right. And Jekyll is temp ship. Oh, all right.
Okay, so now I think there is a world where Darklings are super spicy and do a 5-power priest for A7. So I think I have to build it first.
That would be spicy.
Really I honestly think it might be a play, so I'll just make sure it doesn't happen. Because they have so much leech, like, yeah. They could have still built the temple afterwards, I think.
I don't know. Is this C5A8 good? Like, I don't know if I get.
I don't know.
It's mean, which is fun. But like, I don't think I get neighbor over there. Like, if I wanted to build a town, like, where's my neighbor?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, what is it doing for you? And sometimes I feel like there's almost a false notion that giants are. I mean, giants are good at being aggressive because they don't care what color hex they're taking, but arguably they're actually more vulnerable than other factions because spades are more expensive. Like sometimes this notion that giants are just like really good at stomping on hexes is a little contradictory to me because they're actually worse at digging.
Yeah, you have to be very
Like,
judicious with like how you use
Yeah.
your. If you're ever going to double dig, like that double dig better be like really good.
Yeah, exactly. You're spending 12 leech every time you use your stronghold, so it's not like everything is a single spade to you. Everything's a double. So
I mean, it's hurting me in this case, so I maybe, but I mean, it's open table, right? I think the argument you said could also be interpreted the other way around. Like A8 is a hex you're probably gonna lose if you
I
don't.
would definitely lose that.
So like this is the
I was
last
never
hex.
like planning on that one. I think like if I want 3 towns, there's one in the east, F9, D9, then maybe like a bridge town, E5, D7, C7. And then like I need to make sure I have neighbors, and that means like you need to come down to like F6, F7.
Yeah, if you cut off C5, A8, of course, like I'm not gonna. Well, I won't connect actually. That's also interesting.
yeah.
But
I mean, neighbor-wise, Jekyll, like, unless you stomp F5, like, my expectation is I probably get F5 and E7, and I just don't get to do with them anything that, like, with them this game. Like, I'm never getting a town, but that I'm on F5 and E6, and so if you E5, D7, C6, and a bridge, you have neighbors with me along the way.
yeah, so I think D7 is more important than like C5, A8, like D7, C7.
Other than the argument you just mentioned that if you don't take it, you do lose it. I guess the only other question is like, you have range this round, you don't have range next round. Where do you want to be?
Normally, I would just do C2, A3.
Oh, to secure the. Oh yeah, that also makes sense.
That's like I think the more standard.
That is standard. It's not necessarily any better than D7, C7. I don't know. Both are just kind of random hexes that you're not getting a neighbor from.
I guess C2 has a neighbor right now, so that's maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I'll just do that. Maybe you'll upgrade. Maybe you'd rather give me power than Engie's. I'm guessing you would, right?
I think though
Yeah.
I have to upgrade on A7.
Oh, A7.
because
Especially if you leave
else
A8 alone.
gives too many
Bummer.
people each. Yeah. I think
Yeah,
D4
I'll just do C2. That's too bad.
I think
C5 would be so fun.
this round broke well for me till now. That's crazy. I feel like this is probably what Deep Finesse sees when he picks halflings. Like he just knows that stuff's gonna break his way. Somehow.
So Jekyll has an action left. I don't really care about a priest. Okay.
I took the priest so I can prepare for next round.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep, makes enough sense. Darklings do have, like, they don't have early cheap hexes. They either need some shipping or some more expensive digs, I find.
Right. I mean, I want A5, F4, and E4. So depending on who gets temp ship, I
Wait,
could also go F2, H3. So
am I getting temp ship from Giants? I think so, right?
Possibly?
Means I'm also, oh my goodness. That means I'm also getting double dig and it's, wow. I feel like, wow, everything, literally everything is breaking my way in this round one. I mean, the halfling's way, of course.
Seems
And
pretty good.
all the, yeah, this is such a good, I think, if I were Giants, I think I do that a bit too much, honestly, and people sometimes get annoyed at me when I do it in arena, but I like to stomp on the leading player because I always go for the win. I never go for second place.
Mm-hmm.
And which is why I would have taken C5 A8 just because would like see that halfling start is way too strong. But maybe that's it depends on what your player attitude is like. For me it's like it's first or last. But I guess if you're like playing for arena points or something, then going for second makes sense.
So I'm debating between Fire 1 and Earth 1. Normally I would take Fire 1 if I were making a sanctuary because I would get both, right? But I might not make my sanctuary until I probably won't make my sanctuary 3.
Right.
So in that case, does it put Earth 1 in danger if giants are after it? If yeah, so
I think
think
halflings are not taking Earth 1 this game, so Earth 1 I think will never be in danger.
Yeah.
There you go, 2-1.
Yeah, I think because halflings are just going to do such a good job if you get double dig on temp ship of getting a bunch of dwellings out next round. So, question is, I guess, if darklings want to do the same thing of just like get some dwellings out next round, not get us and then delay your sanctuary until round 3. It might be a thing where at that point you just want water 1, 2. I mean, darklings probably won't get that many dwellings out next round, but they'll get a couple, and then maybe water 1 will be under
Wait. Am I getting any
So
more
I'm secretly hoping that Jekyll will take a bridge, but
Hey, Gamer Montu, thanks so much
never
for the
gonna
follow.
happen.
Appreciate that. Welcome.
I think, if possible, I would like to get coins and then priest. Will that happen? Somebody else want priest? I don't know.
Felice?
Maybe darklings.
Darklings want a priest, otherwise they don't get out 2 dwellings.
not getting any
Happy
more
to
wheat.
see halflings be in such a good position.
Yeah, this is a nice start for halflings. And then you just get, right. So am I passing on a priest or ship VP? My plan for next round is I will get, I mean, there's no pressure on single spade this game. Well, actually, it's an interesting thing. There's not that much pressure on spades in general. Round 1 and 2 are not a good example of that because halflings are gobbling them all up. But after that, halflings probably won't want that many more spades. Darklings don't take them. Giants might take a double dig. But like, so next round I'm getting single spade. I assume I do it on G2. I assume then I upgrade shipping and take F3 and D3 before Jekyll gets ship advanced and takes D3, if I can raise her there, and then also secure F5. Now, that's 4 dwellings in a ship advance. That's a lot of stuff. But the question is, what's going to help facilitate that the most? And do I want an extra coin and 3 power versus a priest and also 3 points? So I have 6 power income, which makes my power 5 and bowl 3. Right.
So Jekyll, did you consider doing a bridge at all just to deny temp shift to halflings?
Then, then who gets temp ship instead? Nobody?
Yeah, nobody.
Oh, and I don't get coins or coins? I'd rather have coins and coins.
Yeah, okay.
Coins are coins. Very wise.
Yeah.
So, Weber, I think this is something I see a lot with NGs, that they pretty much always take Earth 2 and never Fire 1. And especially, this is a low coin game, so maybe you can explain that.
Yeah, it's a really good point. There's also a possibility that engineers should just take Fire 1 from time to time. That's part of it. Having Fire 1 here as engineers would be incredible, given that I didn't get to pass on the coin tile that Jekyll took, and I won't get the coins action because she's presumably taking it first action. But engineers have a harder time producing workers. For those who aren't as familiar with their game board, they're missing 2 of these dwelling spots, so they don't produce workers nearly as well. The other thing that's more interesting about engineers is that their trading posts are actually very efficient structures. Unlike other people's buildings, other people's trading posts, they're not that great for producing coins. They cost a lot and don't give you that much, but all of engineers' trading posts are half price. They tend to get a lot more trading posts out and less dwellings out. It's kind of the high level. Like, it's like most factions, TPs aren't that great economically, and building dwellings are awesome. With engineers, their dwellings are kind of nerfed, so dwellings aren't amazing. And on the flip side, trading posts are pretty good, so they tend to have more trading posts out than dwellings. Also, all their buildings cost. Yeah, so I mean that's sort of the high level part of it. I could have totally used coins here, but if I went into this round with only 1 worker, that would like be worse. If that makes sense. Someone else can sort of.
With what you have, can you beat me to D3?
Well, I got to count the actions here. So assuming you're rushing it, next action you take a priest.
Yeah.
Then you upgrade shipping.
You only have 2 workers.
Pardon?
You only have 2 workers, and you need 4 of those coins.
Yeah.
And then you have 4 left over. Okay.
I need a spade, which is 4 power. I need a worker, which is 3 power. That's 7. I need 3 dwellings, 8, 9, 10. And then I need 4 more power. I'm blending all my power and coins together as resources. So I need 14 coin/power, and I have 9, 10. So no.
Yep.
Okay, that's what
basically. I cannot. So what can I do here? I mean, single spade is always going to be there. I think I upgrade. I mean, the other weird thing that I can do, but it feels really bad, is I can buy a priest and stop you from getting there.
But then I would just bridge.
Yeah, you super would.
It's not as good, but.
Yeah, so I'm not beating you there, and it's pretty sad. So I'm just going to upgrade ship, I think, right now. I think is what I do here. Because there's no pressure on single spade, and then I see what other people do. I'm just going to play a little faster.
Do you need to upgrade ship, though? I think you could just... oh, okay. Sorry. I was seeing a line where you send your priest to air.
Yeah.
And just go sig and bridge, because priest to air seems just very strong. And then you also like save some coins, I guess, that you don't have to invest into shipping yet. But you do get F5 quickly this way, so I can see that working well.
I mean, part of it is that I'm on ship DP, so I want to upgrade ship. The second thing is if I don't ship this round, I need it next round. Like I need to ship right away, so it is a little painful, but yeah. Like basically this line, I can dig and build a dwelling and then ship to F5. So I can afford a spade and 2 dwellings here with all my stuff. Yeah. And
I think I made a mistake right there, by the way. I think I should have sent the priest to air. There. Secured that. But then again, there's absolutely no pressure on it. I'm not sure.
Well, Jekyll just took a priest. I wasn't sure what she was planning on doing.
Yeah, she might not upgrade. Well, yeah, I think this is an open table thing. I think if we hadn't talked about it, I would have expected her to maybe send the priest to air and maybe would not have built the dwelling yet. Because now I have to build C5, because if she upgrades shipping, she can be annoying. Also, is black even taking E4 this round?
You know, I thought about it and it doesn't help me much with anything. I'm not heading over there. There aren't hexes for me over there. It makes for an easier town for halflings, but at this point, I'm not sure I want to use forces. We'll see.
I mean, I think that's like the story of the game. Like, everyone has a line they could hurt halflings with, and they just don't take it, which makes sense. I mean, all of your reasoning is sound. It's just crazy how fortunate things can break. Okay.
I mean, you're not taking it this round, right? So I have one more turn to just.
I'm thinking about not sending the priest to air and just passing on the spade and hard digging plus spading it next round. First action. But then again, you're gonna build one more dwelling for sure. The dwelling round, so.
Just quickly, while you guys are thinking about that, I just wanted to give a shout out to Matt to the Future, who has just jumped in. I think it's a raid, or he's hosting with 6 viewers. Anyhow, thanks for stopping by, Matt. I appreciate it. I'm not sure if you're familiar with this game or not, but you've walked into a game of Terra Mystica on the Board Game Arena website. And so basically, just in brief, the format here is I'm joined by 3 other expert Terra Mystica players, and they're all in voice chat with me. It's who you're hearing talking. We're sort of playing an open hand game of Terra Mystica. So we're talking strategy openly and discussing our moves sort of as we do them, just so viewers can sort of get a sense of what experts are often thinking when they're playing Terra Mystica, that kind of thing. So that's what's going on right now. We're being very very open about our moves and strategy and having a discussion as we sort of play. So hope you find it interesting. Oh, you love it, Terra Mystica. Awesome. Oh, you're playing Root. Oh, so cool. Yeah, Root's amazing. You came for more asymmetry. Yeah. Root's awesome. I love it. I'm going to pass here because I have to pass because I don't have any stuff. And I can sit here and count things really closely, or I can just take the spade that has 3 coins on it. It's got to be correct. Spade and 3 coins it is.
I think George was correct. I think I should have passed on the spade right there. It's spade and 3 coins. I didn't read the chat early enough.
I didn't read it. Yeah. Damn it.
But I think the e4 is so important, the hex, that like it's I have to take it anyways first action next round. So and the 3 coins are nice, because I have like no coins.
What did you do instead of passing?
I sent the priest to air because it
Oh.
gives double rewards, which looked just really good. But
I guess you could have passed with a spade and done it top of next round, unless I would have done it maybe.
I think the 3 spot would have been gone, but I don't think the like just
By who?
taking the one worker.
I mean, there's no more priests in
maybe-
the round other than Darklings, but they're probably using that to build 2 dwellings.
You're right. If you hadn't placed it next round immediately, then maybe it would have been.
I guess I might have. It would have been a worker and then a second priest committed is the it's possible. I won't be too sad. I guess I just get to send the first priest to Earth here, and then another one will follow for 2 spades going into the dwelling round at the end of the game. That'll probably be the extent of my call game. We'll see.
Oh, well,
Nice, Esme.
place it was correct.
You needed to do that for
Okay.
the table.
Yeah, I think this was totally necessary. I 100% agree.
I think I had enough to spare, and I don't need to get to I1 right now.
Yeah, that you're right.
Oh, you only had 1 worker left. I see. You couldn't have gotten out
Yeah.
2 dwellings. Yeah, fair enough. Then just take e4. I mean,
So
makes
I
a lot
think
of
then
sense.
it was actually correct to send the priest. So
I mean, just out of curiosity, Olaf, what was your plan for taking e4? It was like next round taking double dig while also on the spade?
actually just spade and 3 workers because I have so many workers.
Oh, you were just going to do a hard dig to secure that. I mean, it would have been pretty juicy.
Yeah.
Thanks, Pickles, for tuning in. Have a good sleep.
So now I'm debating. I think the situation comes up a lot. So the trading post tile is usually not picked the first 2 rounds because it's just 1 worker. I mean the trading post points tile, and now there's a trading post round in round 4. So I don't really want it right now, because then I cannot pass on it for round 4. But like I think it's the best tile to pick because I am going to build trading posts anyways next round because I have nothing else to do except maybe build a temple instead.
Sanctuary? I mean, it's
I
kind
guess
of
I could-
boring, but Sanctuary for Water 1. The only reason to take, I think, Trading Post 2 coins here is sort of as a block, because otherwise someone gets to pass on it with 3 coins going into the TP round, which is pretty juicy. And arguably, if your power is just getting converted to coins anyhow, then the worker power is worker and 2.5 coins versus the TP tile is worker and 2 coins.
You're right.
It's sort of my
Actually,
thought.
worker
So
2.5 coins, so it's better.
So it is better.
Yeah.
I may have considered still the TP tile with the 2 coins is sort of a bit of a block. Like I might have a short round and then just pass on to the TP tile. I don't know.
I think it's gonna get taken because it has 2 coins on it.
Fair
From
enough. I mean, what else is Felice taking here other than a worker and 2 coins?
I'm gonna take the shipping. I was gonna take shipping.
Oh yeah. Well, 3 power and 3 points. It's defensible.
Oh yeah, you already upgraded shipping, true. But I really like I think, I don't know why I missed that, but obviously just securing Water 1 with the Sanctuary is very strong next round. Probably what I should do. Also, I think you're 1 power off of the coins action, and you might not even want that anyways, which means I'm getting it. So I definitely have enough to go Sanctuary.
Yeah, I super would have taken coins if I could.
Oh man, despite losing e4, I think getting e4 would have just been like the cherry on top, but still like everything is going so well.
I mean, you probably would have sanctuaried, bridged, and then you might have you just would have built some. Yeah, you would get 2 towns in the town, and you might still. You probably do, but it just would have like made like you would have hit the track so cleanly and easily with that extra town.
Getting C5 is already like more than I could hope for. And also like cold game is really interesting this game because I think a lot of colds are going to be won without going to the 10th spot.
Yeah, I agree.
Which makes the priests to cold like that much more valuable. And I think giants are like, even though they're not like fakirs or darklings, who need their priests for something else, they still really need to upgrade shipping early pretty badly. So I kind of count giants as a faction that has to use their priests not going to colds, which means that there's only engineers and halflings that can play the cold game.
I think that I actually should have bridged instead of taking priest and upgrading ship, because I think I actually want to town early and try to go for Tukey town and possibly get to the 8th spot on air.
Interesting.
I am now regretting not taking the spade tile, which George Shortwell had suggested.
Yeah, I saw that.
Because now I don't have the 2 coins that I need for my sanctuary, and NG's got to pass on to it. So now I have to decide. Okay, so this is a classic question. Do I convert workers into coins to make my sanctuary, or do I convert power into?
It's got to be power, right? Yeah.
Power. Darklings don't need 12 kernels.
Kernels?
Kernels?
Is that a thing?
That's what I call them.
Okay. Does anyone else call them a kernel? Does Fickles call them kernels?
Yes. We call them kernels.
Like corn.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, fair enough. I mean, they're not kernels, I suppose. Okay. Is this water 1, I assume? There doesn't seem to be any Earth 1 pressure in this game. So probably... Is this like... do you just like Sanctuary for water 1 here and then Temple for water 1 next round? Or Temple for Earth 1?
Yeah, this is kind of hard to force, or at least I don't plan this. But because I'm building my sanctuary right before the round where we're going to be building trading posts, I'm just going to take water.
Yeah, makes sense.
And then hopefully get Earth 1 right before. If it's still there.
Now, Jekyll, at this point, when you build your first temple and start producing priests of your own and not just buying them and taking them off fast tiles, what favor tile are you up to take here?
Probably water 1.
Water 1?
I would take water 1.
Mm-hmm. That makes a lot of sense.
Now I'm just like, I'm really trying to figure out like this town thing, because it is round 5 towns, so like I think we need to focus on that. And I'm wondering if I can just get 2 towns in the west, like another town in the east. Can I get 4 towns? Is that possible?
Wow,
Ladies and gentlemen, we have talks of a 4-town Giants game.
Is that possible? Like what?
If you do 4 towns, so one is D7, C7, right? One is A3 somehow needs to become a town because 4 towns without the special landscape thingy needs.
Oh, is that the only way you can do 4 towns with like the landscape?
I mean, presumably no. You just build a bunch of stuff. Not to say the obvious, but 4 towns round 5.
I think you have to use every structure, which means A3 would have to become a town.
Yeah, so I would do like A4, A3, C2, C3 as like one bridge town, and then D3, D2.
Oh, and then that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, true.
It would be B3, A3 bridging to C2, right? And then D3, D2 wrapping around to G1 as a town. and then e5 up to c7. This is a few.
Oh, that would be so cool.
That's 3. I think those are the 3 towns that I see. Or you bridge c2 to d3, and then it looks a lot like 2 towns. But I mean, how many more stomps do you have? Oh, I guess you have 4 stomps. b3 is 1, e1, f1. That's 3 stomps. A 4th one on d7, and your sanctuary can be there eventually with no neighbors. Oh, I guess I'll be on f5. Maybe those are your towns.
F5?
What?
You coming to F5?
Be right there. I am coming to every gray hex that anyone will possibly let me on as soon as I can afford the coins to do so. Yeah, so my round is basically 2 temple, 5 dwelling end of this round. I have a spade in hand, digging and building g3 and building on f5, and then I'm just passing onto coins or trading post and then getting water 1 blocked. That's kind of my plan. I always incorporate a solid water 1 block into my plans. I guess f5 could be stomped by giants here. So I should take it first.
So now I have an interesting decision. I don't know if Darklings are just gonna pass now, and I think they will. Because they have exactly 8 power to get the coins action next round. And they don't have much else to do, really. And if I build Sanctuary for Water 1, it doesn't, like, the Sanctuary doesn't produce anything. So I would be literally just doing it for the 5 points right now.
Well, I think, I mean, it helps you found a town without double digging a8. So
Yeah,
it
yes,
you found
but
a
I
town.
mean, I can build it next round, the Sanctuary.
Yes. Oh, I see. It's just a delta. Yeah, it's a 5 point. Yeah.
Exactly. So is it worth 5 points? Because I think after that, I don't really want to send my priest anywhere because I want to use it to upgrade digging next round. Or do I not do that? I think I have to upgrade digging because I have to dig G5 to build my trading posts down there. Which means, like, is it worth 5 points? I think I'm getting more than 5 points if I now just pass onto the trading post tile, take the coins action. That's what I'm thinking.
I see. I was trying to figure out what the either or was. Right, because if you build a sanctuary this round, you're not doing anything else other than that.
I don't think I'm doing anything else, and Darklings are going to pass on that tile and take the coins action.
I see.
So I would still get 5 coins from the cold step, which is, I guess, not bad. So maybe it is worth to build a sanctuary. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I mean, is the trading post tile worth more than 5 points more than the? Oh, it does come with 3 extra coins. Wow, that's spicy. And then just build the sanctuary next round. Because if it's coming with the coins action, you can think of it as that tile is 6 coins in a worker versus 5 coins in a cult step. So it's a little bit better. And then it's a 6-point tile. It's an 8-point tile. Are you actually getting 4 TPs out next round? I guess. I wouldn't have thought about it, but when you add the 7 coin action in there, it's kind of makes sense.
I think I could also build the sanctuary, upgrade digging once, and then build like a slightly expensive dwelling on G5 just to secure it from giants.
I think G6 is the hex. Probably you have to. Well, I guess they're kind of both the same for giants.
Yeah, I have to worry about both. You're right.
It is an interesting question about like where your town's going because like, I mean, giants want D7. Like the clean giants game here is D7 for C7 for their own town stuff, but G6 is just a nice hex to open up another red. Like I don't know.
But I think I
Like,
cannot stop.
I'm not competing on network, right? Given that I'm not connecting, so like.
It's true, and you don't have Earth 1, so random hexes aren't that. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
And
so I think I just pass.
Seems good.
Spicy.
Strange to do absolutely nothing, but I think it's the play.
Did you do nothing this round?
I did not do anything this round. Um,
So has there only
I,
been one turn this round? Oh no, you must have done
I might
something.
Yeah.
lose.
He
Oh, I
took
took
coins.
coins.
Oh, you took coins and passed. You just took all the coins of the round, and they're like, all right, I'm done, and I'm just take the coins of the next round.
I might lose out on water 1, but if that happens, I'll just take air 1 and I'll just lose like a few points.
Yeah.
Oh, losing out on water 1 is really bad though. Whatever. It seems like a fun line. I'll try it.
I mean, are you missing out on water? Who's taking water 1 from you?
I thought you might finish with a trading post this round to have tempo on.
Guess pay 3. Oh, I hate doing stuff like that.
Like, if you do that, I am forced to build a sanctuary and not take the coins, I think. Because it's too, like, I would pay 3 coins to secure water 1, I think.
George is saying then just take Earth 1. Is that the counter?
Oh, that's true. Earth 1's still available. That's so weird.
I guess water 1 is probably 12, maybe 15 points this game with you on a sanctuary. And Earth 1 is 12 to 14. Oh yeah, okay, interesting.
It's actually not much worse, so yeah, I'd probably take the coins and then take whichever is left.
I'm definitely doing this. Ugh. I mean, I could. I'm probably supposed to fight for favor tiles better, but I'm just. I don't know.
Are giants taking water 1 now? Or earth 1?
That trading post must mean a temple this round, eh, Jekyll?
Yeah, I would like a temple.
Temples are good.
Oh, someone pointed out that NGs might take G6.
It's tempting. It's interesting.
Could actually happen.
It's a lot nicer if you're on G5. It's sort of a town spot. I mean, I guess you'll come to F6 at some point, so it's a town spot, but
need coins like really bad.
me?
Me.
Oh, you.
All right, what do we want? What do we want?
Fire 1.
I'm a little bit tempted to take air 2, but I know that's stupid.
No, this is a water 2 with stream. Yeah, this is a terrible track for water 2.
But the water cult is still open. Anyone can have it. It's 8 points. So good.
It would not come with an air worker. I guess it comes with an air spade, sort of. I rarely see giants get cult spades, but like getting all the way up to 8.
That seems good, right?
A free spade as giants is a lot of stuff, yeah. I don't think air 2 is correct though because of that.
Well, I'm taking Earth 1, I think, because I don't know how many TPs I'm building next round, like with no coins.
I mean, arguably water 1. I mean, arguably like water 1 isn't any better or worse based on you hitting the track in a synchronized way, right? Like it's just how many TPs do you build this game versus dwellings? I don't know what the answer to that is. Obviously in this game I was hoping giants would take Earth 1 because it alleviates the pressure. But when you're the one that takes Earth 1 and then everyone else builds dwellings, like it makes the pressure on the wrong favor tile.
Oh, that's a water 1. Okay. So now, depending on what you do, I have to rush water 1 or...
Yeah,
or I could do what George said and just take take Earth 1 and take the...
Yeah, you're on the TP scroll in a TP round. Like, you don't need water 1.
Okay. I trust you.
I mean, I don't know. Am I supposed to actually build a trading post this round and do it? Like, it just seems ugly. It's probably not as ugly as I think it is.
Also kills one worker production.
Yeah.
Always
So disclaimer: I'm not building a trading post this round. I'm passing for, I guess, ship VP again, and just building trading posts and dwellings next round. And I'm just deciding how much power to convert. So I'm gaining 6 power income plus 3 is 9. So I've converted 2 power to coins, which allows me to take a 2-for-1. Which are Darklings even giving me any leech? Possibly. So I should do that. Okay. So we're passing. Take this. Cool. Good talk.
Everybody's passed. Okay. I don't have many TP spots. I guess if I do A4, I'll do that. Halflings have no ship. Okay, I'll be okay. I think I'm gonna go A4. Because then Felice will dig A5 and give me neighbor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's the same as B3, but better.
Yeah, because it's a brown.
Also, it kills connect for Darklings, which is not really that important because I think Giants aren't scoring much on connectiveness anyways.
Yeah.
No, then B3 becomes the connecting part.
Oh yeah, true. Same. It's actually
I mean, I
better.
don't think Jekyll wants that too, right? I mean,
I don't need B3 and A4. It's one or the other.
Yeah, true. I
same
missed
here.
that, right? B3 is clean.
So Jekyll, do you want to talk us through that worker to coin conversion?
Oh, I do that all the time, like no qualms. Mostly because like I have 8 worker income
Uh-huh.
and I want to make sure like I'm going to pass on to worker power and I'll have, 5 power in bowl 3, which is I don't like to just keep burning power and then have none in bowl 3 to use. Like I need power because I have no coins. So that's why I did that. Is that bad?
I don't know. She has 1 million workers. Yeah, I mean, the reason that I think it's defensible is if the power is getting you a coins action, because then ultimately you're not converting a worker into a single coin. It's a worker to multiple coin. Because if you got rid of your power and it lost you the coins action, but in this case you're not getting a coins action anyhow.
Yeah, I think that basically I'm probably going to have like one of the shorter rounds, so then I'll pass.
I see. Fair enough. Yeah. I tend to be on the other side of that spectrum of like it's very rare that I ever convert a worker to a coin, and I feel guilty about it for like a week.
Really? Oh my gosh, I do it all the time.
Yeah, I hardly ever.
I think maybe because I'm often like I do a lot of dwelling rushes, so then I'm like, workers, nothing.
I think this is a point where I could point out that I'm not gonna use it now, but if this were an arena game, I would use it. There's like a tool for like where you can it just adds up all of your Terra Mystica turn resources.
Oh yeah, for sure. I use that on
know
stream
it?
all the time.
Oh
If
yeah,
you're
then
referring to
people
this, I'll just post it in chat. Yeah.
like if you have 21 workers and 24 coins, like I mean, there's no way I could calculate what I'm just gonna go and see what happens and see what I have left, but that's where this tool would really, really come in handy to see what I can actually do, because I have no idea. I'm just gonna see what happens. But if this were an arena game, I would have the tool open and would just add like 2 dig upgrades, a sanctuary, and like I would need like, if I get G5 and G6, so it would be 2 single digs and then 2 houses and 2 trading posts. I would add that all up and just see the number and see if I have enough and go from there. It's really, really useful.
I'm considering taking a priest, even though I need that power. So
For what?
Wow.
I want to get to the A spot on air.
You really are gunning for that air spade.
I think nobody else will put like NG's. Like you're not going to put your priest to air, are you?
I'd really love to upgrade shipping and get on E6 this round.
And you would probably, if anything, rather put it on Earth. So I think
Yeah.
if I got a lot of workers, again, they can be coins. It's nothing. So
or water, right, for points. Like no one cares about cults this game, so a priest to water seems pretty good for a lot of people. 2 key town.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think like another spade is really, really good for giants. And then also I pretty much win air that way. And I'm getting 4 power back, so it's like not too much lost.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Michael, were you thinking about going down to G1 this round?
G1. Maybe? That would, oh, okay. Yeah. Actually, I don't know if I have the coins for that. Why?
Just because that's another useful place for a trading post if that's what you're looking for.
Very true, yeah.
I wasn't super thrilled about the A4 just because I'm hoping to delay digging A5 for a little bit.
So
Oh, I wasn't gonna take. Actually, maybe I would take A5.
Yeah, exactly. I thought if you got impatient enough with me meeting you there that you would eventually take A5.
Is there any bridge pressure or not? Who wants? Because I feel like a lot of people want bridges here.
Oh my gosh, you're totally right.
And Jekyll, you would love a bridge next round so that you can build a trading post this round and hit the town next round.
Yeah. Oops, I forgot we're so late in the game already. I think 3 towns might not happen.
Because
Should
Jekyll
I
would
go ahead and make a town now? That would allow me to get a coin town to get some more trading posts.
Maybe.
Otherwise, it's just going to be 2 trading posts for me this round, which is not great.
I mean, with your cult step on water, you have 8 coins, and if you get a 2-for-1 leech,
Yeah.
right, then you actually have enough for 4 TPs. I don't know, but again, this is me burning power tokens. Like,
I'm just gonna delay until I have to decide.
Yeah.
So
Sorry, go ahead.
I want to ask George from chat if he was talking about me taking 2 key town this round or someone else. Because I was actually thinking about it, securing the bridge and just building a 2 key town to secure it. But maybe it wastes a lot of points because the 2 key town is already only 2 points, and then I waste the 5 points from the town round. And I don't get any cold rewards from it that matter. So maybe it's actually not that good. Oh, to giants to get the cold oh yeah. That makes a lot of sense because then you could secure 1 bridge this round already. And you would not have to have taken I mean, it was a different line. It was a line where you don't take the priest.
Yeah, I did talk about taking the 2 key town earlier.
Oh, okay. So that's what he meant.
I'm just gonna make the town.
Fair enough.
It really put a dent in my plans when because I couldn't get the coin action. I think everyone wanted the coin action, right? Giants wanted coin action. I wanted the coin action. Aaron, did you want the coin action too?
Oh yeah.
So at this point, I know that you're not gonna take G6 because you can't. So I think I can go over to G5, G6 now.
G6 just seemed like a lot of coins to me. And I'm on the ship tile. So if I have 6 coins to spend on securing a hex, I would rather spend 4 and make it E6 and score more points.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And towns are good, but G6 is sort of helping to secure a town spot and knocking one out for you. Like, it is very interesting, but it isn't a town. It isn't a town next round, so I don't know. It's interesting.
Actually, I think I'm going to take a bridge now from B5 to C5 just to have it, because I.
Oh shoot, that's what I meant to do. That's okay, you can take it.
No, you can undo. That's why we're playing open table, right? To like talk about this stuff. I think I don't know. Maybe that's Weber's call, but like I'm fine if you just.
Oh, I don't care. There's no rules here. You can. It's a mixture, right? Like sometimes people, like it's open, so it's hard not to use the information you have in front of us. And if it was a mistake, like there's an undo button in the user interface, you're allowed to use it. At the same time, sometimes I've played games where people like try to play out a certain line, not knowing information that people tell them. Like in either, I don't really care. This obviously isn't representative of like how the 4 of us would have played this game competitively. It's just meant to be representative of like generally good Terra Mystica kind of. So like I don't care if things get skewed in one direction or another.
So I think in Arena there are some players that just love bridge blocking people.
Yeah.
Regardless of if it's good or not, they just love it. And if you need a bridge in the last round, you better pass first. Like I've been bridge blocked so many times, just out of nowhere. I think that's like just a general rule to expect to be bridge blocked in Arena.
So I built all my TPs, upgraded my ship because I want shipping anyhow, and I'm on the TP tile. I can build on E6 if I worker to coin, which is slightly more palatable just because it's the one that produces a worker. Obviously, this whole round I've been short exactly 2 leech, so I've done everything else hoping that someone gives me 2 power so that I can, like a 2-for-1 or any leech here is not just coins, it's effectively a worker because otherwise it would be a worker to coin.
So that means by stalling you around and not building G5, I also like hurt you by not giving you leech.
Jekyll. Oh.
Yes.
See, this is a problem. Okay. So Jekyll, when you upgraded at A4, instead of going to G1, now I have to build my TP at F2, and now I'm going to have to think about getting a bridge.
Yeah, I'm probably just gonna pass.
Ah, okay.
Get all this leech just pouring in. Just burning power tokens this round like they're nothing. So I'm very tall right now. Yes, George, that engineer's worker econ, thank you. But I don't know, I got water 1 blocked. I think I just got all my TPs out of the way. Also, workers' actions are under way less threat this game than coins' actions, so I think I can come up with workers easier than I can come up with coins. Just keep chatting. I'll be back in just 2 seconds, guys.
Okay. Yeah, I still have a pretty long round, and I was hoping that engineers would also have a long round so I could snag another scoring tile. And That's also a reason I was thinking of building G5 there and not stalling, because I wanted to give Weber 2 power, so he would build that one dwelling, which he probably would have done anyways. But I wasn't sure that Darklings would give him 2 leech on F2. So yeah, that's why I built G5 immediately and didn't just dig it brown and wait. Because I wanted
Okay.
the
I might pass. Is this bad to not build more TPs here? I don't think I can afford to.
Are you passing now to secure the coins action?
No, I think I have to take the bridge.
Oh.
And probably take a coin town.
In that case, why are you deciding to pass early instead of for like building like, as you said, another trading post or?
Oh, where?
Oh, you're right. C2 overkills the town, right? It would be just 4 points, I think. But it does
I
overkill.
can do that later when like. I'm thinking about passing for the dig scroll and trying to do like AA, B6, C6, C7 town. Forgetting about D7 with the bridge, just because like I think the bridge is there's too much pressure on that.
Mine's taking the dig scroll is very interesting. But I can see it work.
Yeah, I have so many workers and it's got 3 coins on it.
Right, and so it's just half of your hard dig. Like you would just 3 worker dig spade.
If you think about it, then the tile is 3 workers and 3 coins, and then it looks
Now
really.
I'm really kicking myself for taking water 1. Like I've built so many dwellings. I should have taken earth 1. Duh.
Yeah, Jekyll, you should have taken earth 1.
Yeah. It was me being blocky and it was stupid. I should have taken earth 1. But okay, yeah, I think I will pass.
And you're taking the spade, eh? That is
Hurtful for NGs.
not a super huge fan. Just to be honest. Oh,
So I was gonna pass, but now I'm wondering whether I should wait 1 round. I can delay by taking a single dig.
What?
Yeah, I super want Weber's scroll, so you would get it if you would delay.
You would
1
take
round.
single dig just to take a 3 points and 3 power?
But you kind of pay 2 points by digging with add 2 points and 2 power by using the spade instead of like taking a priest action. And you pay another 2 points by not picking the priest scroll.
Yeah.
So you'll pay 4 points in order to get that. You would deny it from me, so there's like some added value if you're thinking of beating me, and the value doubles. But isolated, I think it's sketchy.
Yeah, I mean, true.
That seems very expensive. Maybe there's a world in like the final round if you're at like 3 ship or something.
Yeah.
But I mean, the options are pretty underwhelming. A priest and a coin is okay.
Right. The other option I was thinking of was I could take temp ship and secure B3.
Yep. Yeah, if you want to connect, I think, yeah, that's good.
Right. So both of those.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Both of those are good. Okay, all right. So I'm actually going to do that. Because the other thing I just realized is that could be a 3rd town, possibly.
Oh, yeah, totally.
I don't know if I'll have the resources for it, but at least I give myself a chance of getting it. Okay, I do need to convert.
Oh, and George does point out that if you were going to ever do a single spade as a stall, if you're going to spend 4 power for a dig, you might as well spend a 5th power for a 2-point dig. via a 5-power priest, because then at that point you're just
Right.
paying a power for 2 victory points. Which is...
Right, but I think, and I don't know if the math worked out there, but the math that I was doing, I think, was that I couldn't do that and have enough to potentially take coins next round.
Oh, I see. So your thought is that Jekyll needs Jekyll's taking a bridge, so you passing. Yeah, fair enough.
Although I'm just gonna.
You're down
just gonna do
converting
this.
1, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do this, and not try to get that ship VP type.
Getting coins here would be really nice for you.
Yeah.
I'm taking 4 coins in a cult step.
Would you like some leech?
Nope. Super don't. I'll take a 2 for 1 if you've got it on offer, but...
Okay, sure. I'll give you a 2 for 1. There you go.
Appreciate. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. Are you offering me free leech later this round? This is a trap.
Oh no.
No one can offer me free power. So we'll just take this.
How about now?
It's tempting just to click yes, but it doesn't do anything for me. Like, I get a boost of serotonin every time I click the yes button, but it's literally not offering me anything. It's just saying, do you want to lose a victory point right now? And I super don't. So.
Oh,
What about a 4 for 3?
no, I'm just thinking, like, I have a spade coming in, and I guess I can just build a house now and use it on F7.
Are we calling them houses now in the same? Oh, you are offering me a free power. All right, I took a 1 for 1. That's gross. Are we calling them houses in the same way that we call them kernels?
Sorry, that was a German thing, I think.
Oh, fair enough. Okay. I'll excuse that. Like, a real German thing is better than a made-up American thing. I'll just.
Okay.
This was a trap. You're totally building a trading post on F6. I totally just lost a victory point.
Yeah.
That's fine. Games of Terra Mystica never come down by 1 victory point at the end.
I finished the town if I do that. Do I want to do that? I guess it's 5 points, right? Because I passed for 2 points on it. And I build it in this round, so it's probably worth it. It gives me tempo on whatever I want. What do I want? But it does overkill the town because I have I'll just spade A8, I guess. Weird.
Oh, maybe. Are you building a trading post on F6? I guess that would town you up.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I could just build a trading post somewhere else, right? And just have it be dead, but I mean, 2 towns are good enough.
D4. I mean, D5. I would decline. Darklings would happily have the free power, but Darklings would decline D4 power. Giants could accept it for 8. Yes.
Sweet.
So
I think D4 is better then, right?
maybe, unless you get the 4 for 3 out of the way with me. I mean, 4 for 3s are becoming less and less interesting as the game progresses, but it's always an opportunity to like remove that power.
I like
but I don't know.
Argument. Like Darklings they would take a 1 for 1.
They would take a 1 for 1, would they? I think.
I mean, they probably don't want to, but it's better than giving them the free leech. Yeah, I think I liked your Darklings argument. I'll build it here.
Yeah, and then you might never have to offer me a 4 for 3. I mean, you don't need that adjacency probably.
Yeah. All right, so now I pass on to.
Pass for a cool 8 points, on to just more points, and then you just have all the points.
Going swimmingly.
It is going swimmingly. So here's a thought. What if I took double dig next turn? It was annoying.
That's a bridge.
think I'm taking double dig here. I think I'm taking double dig, and I'm digging this one and that, and building here.
Oh my god. Oops, I didn't see that.
Oh wow, that's rough.
I mean, I didn't see it until right now either, but I'm all power, I'm all coins, and I'm no workers. I need digs. A bridge would have been nice.
Oh my god, you do both? How do you have 2 ship? Oh, I'm dead.
That's C7 as well. Oh my god.
And that might be around 610. It's a little sketchy, but there might be future town plans. My argument is that, like, I'm 2 workering for a bridge this round for my town, because you took the bridge. So I secure these dwellings, town up, and then temple for Air 1 or something. I don't know.
This is not good.
I mean, it just knocked out one of your towns, though, right? I mean, it's annoying that I took G1, but you have 4 hexes over there.
Yeah. I'm putting my priest of water.
Yeah, I was thinking about sending my priest there, but I really want to upgrade shipping for the points. Maybe it was worth it to send it to water, actually, because it's also a lot of points. Not sure.
Who needs the most leech right now?
I super do. If anyone has any 4 for 3s.
Jekyll, just because she just got destroyed on those 2 red hexes.
That was brutal.
Yeah.
That was not nice.
It was not nice at all. I'm sorry.
And like, I thought you would take E7 instead.
E7.
Dream like an E7 F8 G7 town. Something.
Next to digging halflings with an open gray. I don't know. I think if I have dreams, it's Earth Cult Spades on B8 and A8 and A9 stuff and a bridge up there. And, like, I think that's a better dream for a town.
Well, A8 is gone this round.
Okay, well then maybe I cult spade B8 or B6 or A9 and I bridge or I double cult dig D7.
Oh, yeah,
like I just feel like there's like there's 4 hexes up there that I could do stuff with.
Yeah, fair enough. That makes sense.
So here's a question I never know the answer to. Do I want the 2-key town here? Probably. It's probably just a lot of points on fire. I mean, I was going to send my priest to Earth and take a worker town. That seems like the normal thing to do. But I could take a 2-key town, and then I don't need to send my priest to Earth for the spades. I can send it to, I don't know, wherever, fire. Anyone hate the 2-key town for me here? I tend to not take it, but I'm trying to learn to take it more.
I think normally it wouldn't be worth in this spot because, like, in most color matchups, it would not be worth. But because the codes are so like uncontested, 2 steps are just worth more than they would be in a normal game.
Yeah.
But it's still like you pay 9 points to take that instead of the 11 points, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think you almost make up the 9 points just with the steps, and then you add on top of that the power that you get from going up. And you basically also get a priest because you don't have to send a priest.
Yeah,
so
to Earth.
Town basically gives you a priest.
And then I think I get enough
think
power
looks
to
really
give
good.
myself 2 more workers this round. 1 for a
And you
temple.
can just take the workers action instead of if you
Let's
get a
run it.
little bit more leech.
Let's see.
Okay, so what was the G1? What was that for?
Which
Just
you
to
might not get. Now that I
win my town?
see it.
Well, G1 wasn't to ruin your town because you still have a town. It
Yeah,
was
you-
just
yeah.
to. It was just
don't know.
a hex to dig, and it came with a free power eventually.
So I talked way too much about your games, and now I don't know what I want to do.
Aaron, would I4 have been a little bit better so then you could get to H
Yeah.
and then G7?
If I
That
had
would've
like
been a little
if I had like 7 workers or something,
know.
yeah, it would have been a lot better.
But it would have also
get
set
a
you
boat
up
town,
for.
because
Olaf, can you hear
Without
us
a
okay?
dwelling.
Olaf, can you hear us okay? Guys, Olaf, can you hear us? I'm just gonna DM him. Yeah, you're.
did I disconnect? Can you still hear me?
I can hear you now. Yeah. We were just sort of talking over each other a little bit. Oh,
I think I'm gonna build a temple right now.
I think I just disconnected. Can you hear me again?
We can. Can you hear me?
Oh, yes.
Okay, cool. We were just talking over each other a little bit earlier, but I think we can all hear each other now. We were arguing over whether the G1 take was correct or whether I should have just spaded I4. Probably. Yeah, probably I should have just dug I4 and then gotten on H3 this round before halflings decided to block me over there.
I think at this point it's also worth considering, again, as I said, I do this a lot, how good the other players' games are, and by doing that move, I think you made sure you're not going to be last, kind of. Which is, of course, really mean, but I think you killed Giants' game with that. And sometimes if you have a really, really rough start, like, I guess the only way to get third is by making someone come fourth. I feel like I'm advocating like very hateful play. I think I should stop.
There you
Hmm.
Yeah. So
the main cherry on the top for me, and this is like probably bizarre, but it just there's also a free power involved, maybe two if I'm really nice.
Yeah.
But I4 also
Yep.
opens up 3 hexes, so or 2 hexes. So
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude. I don't know.
Oh wow. Okay.
So you have 100 points already. And you haven't
Yeah.
passed, and you still have resources, and it's round 5.
yeah, I think I should have built Earth 1 this round before building the 2 dwellings, because I have to build the temples anyways.
Earth One's gone. Oh, because Jekyll took it.
Oh, you're right. So it didn't matter. Okay. All good. I was actually thinking about taking the ship town just to have tempo on upgrading ship again and then passing onto the... Like, I would have 2 ship now, which is enough to connect, and I could just pass onto the trading post tile. I think that would have been better. I just thought the cold steps looked nice, and I had 2 priests left to get to 3 shipping, but I lose out on the 8 points. So, yeah.
I snapped up the workers there because I thought Felice might want them. Which you don't next round, but like if you count your next round income together with what you have, you're fine. Worker to coin. But I thought you might want to do more stuff. Unfortunately, what it means is that the free leech that I'm getting from Jekyll is going nowhere, and also my cult step, which probably goes to fire, doesn't come with any power and all kinds of sad things. But
Okay, so now I have to decide whether or not I want to pass for the trading post tile.
Seems good.
Well, okay, so yeah, okay. Because I think I'm getting close enough to everyone else and saying that I'm going to be passing soon.
Yeah, I would super pass now. I would not take the 3 points for shipping upgrades for the... I would, yeah. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. I think now I need to calculate whether or not I can make town.
That's some ferocious clicking, Jekyll. That was like clicking with a purpose. She's like, well, yeah. Don't flip the board game on me.
My dad used to be like, you would think he was so mad the way he would type, like just like it was as if you were like a concert pianist or something, just like so much noise typing. Oh, Weber, you're trying to get another town?
No, I was just realizing that all my buildings are in the wrong place, and I built a temple for Air 1 instead of Fire 2, and it's really sketchy. It requires probably a stronghold and all kinds of bad things. So if a town miraculously appeared, I wouldn't say no to it, but it's... I'd love to build a trading post. I also need to build a dwelling on C7, probably if I want my cult spades to go on... Well, I'd need to be on C7 and B7 if I wanted to cult spade D6 and A9, I think the town's not happening, which means I'm going to have a total of 2 town points this game. Seems bad. The other option is double digging D7, hoping you don't take it, or halflings. Building that whole stretch, building a stronghold and sort of going that route, and then my stronghold is... Pardon?
This is gonna be gone now. I'm gonna build...
Oh, right, you want it. Yeah, you need to get in here. Never mind.
It'll be first action next round, probably, because I won't do it now because it's dwelling round next round, but it'll probably be my first action. Well, now I can actually think about building a temple.
Well, there you go. I'm such a nice guy.
Well, I think I will build a temple.
Why do you want D7?
It's just because I don't have anywhere better to build.
Oh, and the access to B8, E8.
B8, D8, E8 stuff, yeah. As opposed to going through F6. I mean, it's...
Okay. I mean, this is not just because of open table, but I was gonna take that this round with my dig scroll.
Oh, interesting.
You still have the dig scroll. I totally forgot. I always scroll down to Giant, see they used their thing, and I'm like, okay.
Well, it's pretty easy to remember that Giants, Giant Spade. It's not a common bonus tile.
Yeah. So where do I feed Leech? I guess G4, so it's really expensive for you, even though you love getting it, but...
Yeah, it might actually be, yes. It might be less inefficient because I'm overflowing with... No, it's not going to help at all. I would need to...
So giving you 2 for 1 could be worse, right? Because you're overflowing anyways.
Maybe? Oh, I'd have to do the math. Because if I took a 4 for 3 and then used my Step on Fire, that's 6 power, which means I could convert back down into the same position. It's not... I mean, a 2 for 1 I would just decline. This just means I could use... Oh, then I would get... I think the way the math works out is if you offer me this 4 for 3, someone in chat tell me if this is wrong, it works out to a 6 for 3. Because then my Fire Cult Step bonus is not wasted. I'm still overflowing in power, but I'm getting, something like that. So I think it's a 6 for 3.
I would have missed it.
You would have missed it, but since I helped you out with all that math, let's go the 2 for 1 route.
But that's what I'm supposed to do, right? Or should I build G4?
No, I do whatever you want, and it doesn't matter. Yeah, this is totally
I'm gonna build G4 now, because you'll have to pay 2 points. And generally, like, in the late game, I sometimes build next to people, even though I don't have to, thinking that the leech will not be worth for them, and, like, baiting them into accepting it.
This is very kind of you. I'm super going to accept this.
Which is maybe not a thing you should do, but I like to do it.
What do you do? What do you bait people into?
I build... Like in 5th and 6th round, I build next to people, even though I don't have to, and give them like 4 for 3s, because I feel like it's not gonna be worth it, and bait them into accepting the leech.
Oh, yeah.
Like in this case, I think it was strictly better to build on G5. But sometimes it's funny to bait people.
Yeah, how I would love playing against you, because he just auto accepts 7 for 6s, you know. Now I'm just gonna do this because I'm not incentivized to pass, so I'll just do that. Oh, this worked out really nicely. I don't want to calculate that, but that was something for something efficient. It was a something for something. And then I super duper secure C7.
How much better are engineers with their landscape on this map?
In this setup where I messed a lot of things up, a town better probably. In other games, if things are going well, you don't really need it. Like, it can help you squeak out a town.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, a common town spot is like F6, you'll like landscape C7, right? And then you can bridge up there and do B7, and you have a town.
Yeah, I was looking at C7. That looks like a really nice town with the landscape.
Or if your sanctuary needs to be committed elsewhere and you lose F3, people will like dig G3 with a landscape and then F5. So like there's different interesting things. There's also something in the south here that I've seen people do. Landscape E7, bridge to F9. There's a few interesting things that people can do. So it would have been helpful for me here. I probably could have gotten an extra town out of it, but
in Tuesday League, we played one game on this map, and I think Super was, or actually I didn't play. I was watching the stream, and Super Sarni, I don't know how to pronounce that name, but he said,
yeah, it's good.
He was dreaming of a town, engineers from D6 to E4 to F5, F3, sorry, with 2 bridges. He said he wants to see that one day.
He's recruited everyone.
Next Tuesday League, if I get the chance to play this map, I will try to pick Engis, and I'll try to make him happy. But it seems super hard because E4, if blue is in, it's gone. If black is in, it's gone. Brown kinda also wants it. I don't know. Sketchy.
Where are these spades going? Right next to... Well, halflings have 3 shipping, so they're omnipresent at this point. There's no such thing as next to halflings. There's just no town, so good talk. So I'm just going to take I4 and something else kind of random, like B6.
Oh shit.
I don't know. Places?
You okay?
Sure. Got a lot of hexes to secure. So I missed the fact that Jekyll was going to build a trading post and hadn't towned up. That sequence worked really nice for me to, the fact that I'm passing in front of Jekyll meant that I didn't have to secure C7 last round, which wouldn't have gotten me a worker econ and would have just cost me 2 points on the track. So being able to pass in front of you means I can secure C7 first action. And I got the pass tile. And there was no other econ that was particularly helpful. I totally missed it. It just I was preparing to lose the pass tile, build C7 this round, and then take the spade, as I sort of missed that you were building a TP.
Yeah, that broke really well for you.
Is Jekyll gonna take bridge this? Are you
bridge? And then
I haven't decided
C6?
if I can. I don't think I have the resources.
For a sanctuary for fire 2 and a trading post and telling halflings what you're up to.
But do they want to mess with me? I'm in last.
No, I wouldn't mess with you. There would be no reason to do it in this case.
Who's in second place here? Darklings? Guess?
Well, actually, giants look to be in. Well, they don't get much connect points, but they're doing well in the cults.
But I'm also
I'm gonna take this first.
doing okay in the cults. I don't know. Am I crazy?
Yeah. And you're sitting on 9 points. Maybe you're second right
Maybe I'm
now.
second and I just build a million dwellings this round. I don't know.
Points. No, I think Darklings are second, pretty sure. They have a lot of stuff. They have a town coming.
I have a town.
Yeah, it's Darklings, I think.
Felice, do you
Yeah,
have
I'm
2 towns coming?
Maybe.
Ooh. That would be spicy.
Maybe. I think I have a chance if I, that's why I took C1 first, was because I couldn't afford for halflings to go there first.
Like, do you want a bridge here?
I think I will.
I was asking Felice, like if Jekyll doesn't take the bridge here, would you have
What the
wanted
heck?
the bridge?
Why are coins coming to me?
Coins are still there.
Because halflings didn't have the power for them. Felice had to secure C1 from you, I suppose. Yeah. Oh, and from halflings. And I needed to secure C7 against you.
Coins.
So is the bridge better, or are coins coins? Coins are coins.
Coins seem a lot like coins here.
What do I do with them?
There, take that for expert commentary. Coins are coins.
This is actually a really hard decision. So we have time, right? So what's the right thing to do here?
So it would take 4, 5, 6, 7 workers.
Perfect.
And 6, 8. Oh, I do have it with the bridge.
So it's a 6 coin bridge right now. You're paying 6 coins for a bridge.
Well, for a town, right? 6 coins for a town.
For a town, delta other stuff that you might do, like not building a sanctuary and using Earth 1 and Water 1. But yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I don't know. It's not just 6 coins for an 11-point town, because you also have to factor in that, like, a sanctuary doesn't score anything.
That's true.
But you're not.
So is ecilef, or sorry, Felice, how are you getting this town?
Bridge.
She super wants the bridge.
I think
F2
bridge makes it a lot cleaner. Otherwise, I don't know. Is there a way to still figure it out?
For that reason?
I mean, otherwise I have to take a priest and dig some more.
And fire 2 and
yeah. I think I have
stuff.
to do fire 2 no matter what.
Okay.
Yeah, so the bridge makes things a little bit easier for me, but
I mean, getting coins is pretty sweet.
Okay.
I mean, you can convert them into points via shipping as well, right? Although the priests are very good in the cult.
Yeah, I want my priest for cults. I don't need to upgrade ship given that I have no network and.
Yeah. So
there's 3 good towns left, and you guys are done towning, right? So ecilef and I think I'm just gonna try to town.
So Felice, like, you need to temple for fire 2, 2 trading posts and 3 dwelling to town.
Yeah.
Which means you need a priest action and a worker's action, and then your first town is a priest town, I think, for it to work out. Or something. I did the math quickly in my head.
Like
but
yeah, I have the coins for it. I just don't have the workers and the digs.
Which is a very funny thing to say with Darklings. Usually you're good with workers and you've got lots of priests, and you're just like, I need 35 more coins to do all this. But you actually have the coins, oddly enough.
Yeah, but I have plenty of power.
You do.
But the priest is gone if you don't take it
yeah,
right now.
I have to take the priest first.
You need 3 digs. Yeah. Yeah, because one of your towns, I'm not making this up, one of your towns has to be a 5-hex town if you only have 3 trading posts.
I don't really have much to do. What do I do?
Yes. Yeah. This looks pretty good, Felice. Like, I think you just take a worker's... Well, I mean, having said that, I might actually take a worker's action. but I don't really know.
Yeah, I mean, I have 6 power for 2 workers.
You do.
Not the end of the world.
Right. So like you just get 2 towns here regardless of what happens, I think.
I think so. The thing is, I did my calculation with the bridge, and so losing 2 points worth of structure, I didn't recalculate. How much it would cost. So I'm kind of flying, but I'm just approximating here. In a turn-based game, I would definitely calculate it out, but right now I don't feel like it. It's a lot of work.
It is. I think yeah, even 6 power to workers, you have both your towns. If your first town's a priest town and then your second town's a ship town and you're done.
Yeah.
That looks pretty
exactly.
clean. Oh, Jackal. Oh, did you already use your dig? You super did. Okay. I have hexes all over the place and I'm trying to like grab them. I really would like to take a power action. I don't know what one, but with workers. But it's always that game of like, I'm just going to build on I4 and see what happens, right? And it's like a single worker in H7 is 2 hexes for me.
So no halflings have enough for coins action, right? Exactly what we need.
Of course, Olaf also just gets the coin on his like third turn of round 6. BRB, I'm flying to Germany to strangle you.
I think I'll just build my fortress because it's fun and I don't have much better stuff to do.
Is that a flex? You can just build your stronghold for like a meme and we can't. It's still gonna win by 30 points.
No, I can't build the driller, which makes me super sad. That's the ultimate meme. But close enough. I mean, I could build temples and trading posts. I guess I have water 1. But
yeah, you could also score points.
I think this is one of these games where, I mean, just like the start was getting double dig twice and being able to use it as well efficiently.
Yeah.
That's something that witches sometimes do, and when they do that, they get like 180 points.
Yeah. And that Priest of Fire 1 was just such nice.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so nice.
Like, we evaluated giants like at least 5, if not 10 points better than normally because of that Priest to Fire, right? So that was crazy.
Oh.
I think now that I have H7, I would have loved to have sent a Priest to Fire to try to challenge you there, but I just don't think it's gonna happen. So I think my next move, I send 1 to water. Darklings aren't sending any, so if I send 1 to water, maybe you probably send 1.
I think my priest is going to Earth, right?
Oh yeah, Priest to Earth is pretty nice for anyone. Will anyone walk out a cult this game?
I'm gonna undo if you don't mind.
No, go for it.
Sure.
I built my. I just realized I have 1 dwelling left, so wherever I place it is. Oh, actually.
Oh yeah. You got to be really careful with that. Yeah. Because you need your first town's worth of econ to finish the second, or something.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay, so I think actually it didn't matter. I was realizing I was also giving giants too much leech if I did D1.
Now, that's an interesting thought. Would you rather, like, you're giving giants a free power here, so would you rather force them to take a 1-for-1 on top of that? I mean, I guess obviously the answer here is no, but I just think it's an interesting.
If this were super competitive, I would now dig C4, H4, build a house, and then dig I2 into whatever direction is not Darklings. Because I think they patched that you can dig your home hexes now.
Oh, right. You can dig away.
And that would, because I think Darklings are the only contestants, so I would,
I think... Could I still make the town with H1 instead of I2?
You have 2 priests, so maybe you could. I don't know. I would do the math now and then see if it works out or not. Yeah, if you have 2 priests, then you could probably still do it.
Because here's the thing, I might need to do it with H1
Oh, because it has a neighbor. Oh yeah,
because it
true.
has a neighbor.
You have to do H1. Oh, so it wouldn't even matter. So I couldn't even do at all. True.
I think as it gets closer, I'll decide then, because maybe it's just an expensive trading post.
I was hoping I could dig B6, double dig it, instead of building a sanctuary.
Oh,
Why can't you?
I don't have enough power.
A single
Right.
space plus 3 workers.
Yeah, is there...
No, I can't do that.
But you don't have fire 2, right? You need the sanctuary to take fire 2.
I don't think I would need fire 2 if I could.
Oh, if you had the
B6.
power for double dig, you would just need a dwelling and 2 TPs straight up, which is 5, right?
Yeah, that would work.
Just 13 resources, right, which you have. If a priest and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't see that line. Yeah, you really need a 2-for-1.
I was hoping to beat you to that, but I don't think I can.
Hopefully not.
And take a sneaky cold step into air 10 and then hope.
Hope that I don't secure my gray hex next to giant. Yeah. Hope is definitely... It would be sneaky. Oh, or I can just have free power. That's lovely.
Yep, that's too bad.
Yep.
So ecilef or Felice, you're taking a priest town to upgrade ship once?
Figured
Ship
that
test.
out yet.
Yeah.
Either that or I'll take a ship town.
Right.
This is a pretty goofy engineer's game. A total of 2 town points. That seems
But
poor.
somehow you managed to get 14 structures. I mean 15 structures out, right? That's crazy. So should I dig G7 now into something else? I think you're getting your last
Probably,
structure
and then force me to take single spade. I mean, it's a work. I mean, if you're just gonna have extra workers to dig something, you might as well cost me a resource point. I don't
Yeah,
know.
but I don't think it's worth it because I think I can get to. I can either do the meme and build the stronghold.
It's not worth it
or I-
because there's a meme here at play.
I think so as well. So I could get to 15 as well, I think. I need 2 workers for 2 dwellings. I need 4 workers for a temple and a trading post, and I need 1 worker which I can get via the power from the temple. So and I need 5 plus 3 plus I need 11 coins. So 12 coins. I bet I still have 12 coins. So I could do it. That would probably be the best. And the priest becomes a worker, of course.
Mm-hmm. Fire 2 incoming.
So I think I'll secure D8 first. I mean, it's not under threat, but why not?
Okay. Pretty much all I can do. I'm upgrading ship. I'm sending a priest to water. Hmm. So 20. I'm like 144 here.
Really? Wow. That's a lot.
Terra Steel. Maybe the Stronghold would have been good to dig multiple graves at once. Yep. Thanks. In case anyone doesn't know Terra Steel, great supporter of the stream. Been with me since day one, telling people to dig my hexes.
If this had been a last round Stronghold round, it would have been the most beautiful Halflings games I would have ever played. But this is still pretty fun.
It would have been dramatic if you built a Stronghold and then just bop, bop, bop on 3 different graves. I would have just like passed and just gone GG. Or upgraded digs. I don't know what you do at that point.
I mean, honestly, your double dig on 2 reds was pretty
Yeah,
close.
that was pretty spicy, yeah. Any move that can mess with me makes you happy. Yeah. That's great. So this is a no locking out cult stream, it would appear.
Yep.
Enough.
Rage quit my own stream. It's true.
Has it ever happened?
No.
Oh,
No.
okay.
No, I don't tend to get upset at losing board games. I don't know that I've ever been like upset at someone digging my stuff on stream. I don't think, or even off stream. Like it's not a thing that like I don't get salty in the same way that some others get salty.
Wow. Okay. Now you know something for your April 1st stream.
Oh yeah, pretend I just get really angry. Leech just does not do anything for me.
Wait, am I missing something? ecilef, how are you getting?
I can't make a 3rd town.
What?
Oh, okay.
Really?
Yeah, I miscalculated.
No.
Yeah. Well, when I
really?
It's not that I miscalculated. It's just that when I did my calculation, it was with the bridge, and I had enough with the bridge. But without the bridge, I'm short. It looks like a worker and a few coins.
What? Oh, because I thought your sequencing was fine because I sort of figured it out. I thought. I mean, I didn't like double check it, but I thought it was pretty clean. That it was just a priest town first. I don't see what went wrong. Was there another way you were supposed to sequence it?
No, it wasn't the sequencing. It was just that a bridge would have given me a two points worth of structure for 3 power, right? Three power and 3. And having to build 2 more points worth of structures is way more than 3 points, and I just didn't have the cushion, unfortunately. It's okay. I'll just I'm just
Huh.
I'm gonna
Did you buy
I'll just build my buildings and then figure out what to do
dwellings
here.
instead of trade? Oh, one of your towns did need to be a 5 dwelling town, and maybe the thing was that needed to be first because your first town econ got you the priest or something. Wonder if that would have that made a difference if you did your 5 hex town first and then took the, I don't know.
She has
Yeah.
a 5 hex town though. Even in like previously, it was just gonna be H1 with 2 TPs.
She doesn't have enough TPs for 2 more. That's why I thought one had to be 5 hexes. It's like a trading post and 3 more dwellings. I don't know that it makes a difference though. Anyhow, it's just so weird that we both miscounted that because I looked at it. I thought it was super clean.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I thought your second town, like, you was just going to be a ship town to connect, and you were using like all your stuff.
Yeah, in which case Fire 2 was totally wasted. I could have picked a different favor tile. In fact,
Or not even build
I
the
probably should have
temple.
just taken Bridge. Sorry.
Yeah, or not even build the temple. If you're committed to 2 towns, then maybe it's just another trading post and just all your dwellings
Right,
and more
because
network.
I think I
right,
wasn't
because I'm
taking
sitting on
seawater.
I'm sitting on the trading post pass tile, right? So why would I upgrade to a temple?
Right, because now you want to build your trading post for 5 VP, but then that's going to mess with, well, I guess network stuff doesn't matter. You're just always getting 6 points here. So you do just build tall at the end, like you're just beating Giant's network as long as you connect. So you do just build a trading post and a dwelling.
I have another problem, which is that I have to use coins to upgrade shipping.
5, 6, 7. So you have enough for a trading post and a ship advance.
Yeah.
But it's dwelling round, so she should build dwellings.
Oh.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, it's really awesome.
This is a good commercial for the planning tool.
But
all right, so halflings are putting priest occult, right?
presumably?
No, I'm building a trading post and a house. I'm only taking one more cold step.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah, I was sort of waiting to see what people did with their priests first. Like if it,
Yeah.
probably I just send it to water, but do I bump fire if you 5 power priest for, I have no idea.
I will go up in water to get the power I need.
Oh, you had a
for
cult
the
bump.
Yeah, I got water too. Sneaky.
No,
I
I
could have
meant
taken
Jekyll.
water.
Jekyll just bumped fire. Bugger.
Oh, she's sitting. Oh, and she has a 5 power priest still to
Yeah,
go.
super does. Jekyll
Right.
might send a priest to water because if it's just 2 points, she has an extra priest. There you have 2 extra priests. Yeah, this is interesting because if I send a priest to water, with Felice not going for another town and just building out because it's a dwelling round, then if I send a priest to water, she just sends a priest to water because it's 4 points plus the delta. So then I can tie halflings with my priest.
I'm gonna take another step in water.
And you're going to take another step in water.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to sit here and trade queens with Jekyll, and I'm going to priest bump, and then she's going to 5 power bump. That's not actually even better for her. Well, I guess it is if the rounding of the resource points makes sense.
I think it costs her 1 point if she were to do that, so you're good.
Just seems so obvious to send a priest to water here, but I don't think it makes sense because you have water too, so you just beat me.
Yeah, it's
Darklings,
weird, but
I think it's just this bump.
also because your resource points, they just line up so well.
Yeah, I don't need the power for a resource point, so I'm just doing that.
Looks weird, but seems correct.
Yeah, so.
So Felice is going to wait. What did She built a dwelling. So you will have priest left over.
Yeah, a ship advance, and then
Advance
exactly
and
enough
one
resources
bird.
for a dwelling. And then yeah, priest. Oh, you're considering bumping fire.
Does any bump give you 2 points?
Well, no.
So Felice is getting, what's the network? Oh, so Felice is getting 6 points on network?
I think so.
Yeah, big network, but only 6 points. Getting down to 3 structures left, and halflings and I both 2.
You have the TP scroll. Uh, 20, 24. I think maybe it's worth it. Cause like, yeah, cause Felice, you want to put a priest to earth anyway, cause it gets you a point on halflings.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
Although
yeah, bump makes
a
sense.
dig is 2 points. Yeah, I think I have to do that.
Really?
Give up 2 points.
How does it make sense to give up 2 points? It's only ever protecting.
Yeah, okay, fine. I'll pass. Right.
Yeah,
I mean, they're your resources. Sitting here debating with you. It is weird. I guess it incentivizes her to use her resources in a way that will affect you more than.
Yeah, then Felice gains.
Before-
She gains 2 points. Okay, so she will definitely do that. Oh well. I think that's.
Yeah. Yeah.
She has Earth 1, so it's definitely worth it to build. Okay. Anyway. All right, GG.
I was actually trying to count it. I guess it's barely. It is probably slightly worth it to do this, but the other line I was thinking is 2 priests to Earth to get the power for a ship advance and a trading post, which might have almost been the same. Maybe it's not. All right. Good thing I had a low coin game and then passed with 9 of them because I did things well. See ya.
Do you think there was an Earth 2 Fire 1 line in round 1 for you? Because I felt like you had a lot of spots to build.
Maybe. I mean, the other biggest problem was like the econ that I wanted. I guess early shipping. Like, okay, so there's 2 things. If enough econ would have gotten me to D3, that would have been a boost that would have changed my game. I did end up getting into the East and the South this game. Maybe not on time, as quickly as I wanted, all that kind of stuff. D3 would have changed the game. The other thing that would have been nice was just like Temple on Spade. So I would almost say Air 2, except for that wouldn't have even helped me. Like one big thing that just slowed me down, I don't know that an econ favor would have helped me, was just the fact that you got double dig in round 1 and in round 2. So I don't know. Who did we lose? Oh.
I lost you for a second.
Yep.
And that's it. Well,
All right.
fun game, everyone. As per usual.
So if I can just summarize my mistakes in the last round.
Yep.
Which is that I could have gotten 15 structures if I hadn't tried to go for a 3rd town. So I really needed to commit to the 3rd town by either building that bridge or just decide to like. And instead, I kind of wasted a lot of resources on what I thought was going to be a third town that never materialized.
Right.
Because I think like C1 wasn't that important, was it?
You know, yeah, it wasn't. I thought I was going to do C1, D1, but then realized I could have just done B1 if I didn't get, yeah, C1 wasn't as important as I thought.
Mm-hmm.
And then it also gave, halflings, lots of opportunities. Because if I had taken bridge, then Jekyll, you would have taken coins, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And not only
instead
that,
it ended up being,
like with my 1 dig remaining, I'd probably like go to the east.
Yeah.
And try to get more dwellings down.
Yeah. So there were a lot of definite waterfall effects from what I did, and I think that I mean it was against my instincts to not take a power action as a first action, but when I saw that halflings had 3 shipping, I kind of panicked, and of course the first thing I thought of, oh, they're going to take C1, as if that was the most important thing going, right? So yeah, that was probably the wrong. All right, I'll hand it back to Aaron.
No, this is good. I don't have anything in particular to say right now. This is a good opportunity for folks just to go through. I realize you've already been on stream for a long time, so I don't want to keep you folks for that much longer. Some of you may have lives outside of Terra Mystic, I'm not sure. But is like if there is anything that you want to say about your game, so like sort of what went well, what sort of like didn't go well, what have we sort of like learned on lakes again, like what are some of the sort of swingy decisions that happened in the game that changed things, like all that kind of stuff is sort of helpful to go over right now. We certainly talked about Halfling's game quite a bit, like the sequence of greedy priest of fire, and still double dig, and then based on how the turns went, passing on to temp ship for double dig again into the dwelling round to get it. Like that whole sequence was just amazing. But what about Jekyll, Felice, your guys' games? What do you think was like good or bad breaks that kind of happened here?
I think the worst thing.
Well, I think that I probably. Sorry, go ahead.
You go. Oh well, I'll be quick. I think one of the hardest things for my game was that halflings were doing so well, and so because of that, they could, like not only was I kind of relegated to the west, which with my E3 placement, I think I was okay with that, but then a few kind of different times to pass, the fact that they passed onto the temp ship, also the TP tile when I wanted it. I mean, I wanted the temp ship, I wanted the TP tile. They got both the same rounds that I wanted them. And so I think because of that, I mean, they had a very strong game, and that made everything just a little bit harder for me. Pass it on to Jekyll.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, and I guess the other thing is, like, given the presence of Darklings and Giants in the game, like, 2 factions that want double dig more than any other faction are like NGs and Halflings, and I guess maybe Alchemists, but like you guys really want double dig, and now you have like pretty easy access to it, and given that my placement, I wasn't going to win any network, like I think that auction-wise I just had to wait a lot longer.
Do you think in retrospect because E5 was annoying to me for sure, but I can see how in retrospect it wasn't great for you. Like, was G2 just better here? Or is C7 still in play? Or is the idea that like E5 and C7 are kind of out here if you want to play network, and if you just go G2, you connect?
What just occurred to me is like, given that E5 and C7, both of those were kind of thrown out there for options, given that they were both had no neighbor and weren't going to get neighbor for a while, A8 is like so another option.
Right.
It's kind of like the same deal, except like more annoying for halflings.
Yeah, earlier adjacency. I guess the thing about A8, unless you do the temp ship C5 E5 stuff straight down, there is a world, and it takes, it doesn't happen right away. It does take a while and some planning and stuff, but I might have gotten to E5 here as engineers. I still probably don't if you start C7. So I think in some ways C7 and E5 are kind of the same for you and me, because that's still town is still kind of knocked out.
I think that like E5, like I'm never going to get all my reds, right? So like which reds do I want to give up? And basically like as long as I get some of those reds and then I can get to the east where there's those two awesome reds, like I think it doesn't really matter which one. Just like pick the one that's most annoying.
I guess the question is, like, what does E5 or C7 give Giants here that G2 doesn't? And that's not meant to be a rhetorical question. Like,
I guess if I start G2, then I might actually be more like network competitive.
I mean, you almost certainly connect because you just take F3 before Darklings triple dig it, which is sometimes a triple dig Darklings town. But I think you just like you kind of make a town where I do. I guess it's an awkward town because you either sanctuary in G2 or you bridge there and do a 4-hex town. It's like there's one less red. E5 to C7 stretch. I mean, I know you didn't end up getting it this game, but aside from that, like there is one more red in that in that math. G2 is connection and one less red. But
I think like going for G2 and thinking that you can get connection like in this setup is naive, just because like that's so many non-natural reds that you're just gonna have to dig to get towns. And like
if you start G2,
yeah,
maybe it's fair because you're right. You go G2, you just don't have any reds. So now why did you bother connecting? You might as well at least have reds to develop on. Like maybe network in this color
like
wheel is not happening. I don't know.
G2 is like the network play, then and you're not getting natural reds.
Any network points, right?
Don't jive together. So yeah, I think that like the Giants' game plan in this setup had to be just punt on network, go for towns, preferably more, like at least 3, and then like go on, like try to win some cults.
Right.
Which is what I did. It's just like
right.
Maybe I needed to like work a little bit harder for past tiles, and like given that there's only 2 and not like the big building, I think just the bidding was off.
Yeah, fair enough. Like I think maybe a strong Giants game does have a similar board state to what we're looking at right now, which is 3 towns, punting network, culty. The difference here is that like you had to build a big building in a dwelling round. Like you didn't score off that structure. You have 2 big buildings and you never scored 8 points off of them.
Right, but like if you think about it, if I got B6, like if I just had 2 more power, I could have got B6, and then that's just like teepees and dwellings which score me the whole time.
Yeah, it's true.
And it still doesn't catch me like up to you guys, but like
no, but I think this is like Halflings had an amazing game and their points margin shows, but I think the 3 of us are a lot closer. I mean, there's 18 points top to bottom here, but so that's not huge anyhow. But I think this is actually a lot closer because like Halflings also just had such a ridiculous points margin that they didn't do anything to me. Like, I just was a slowpoke and was just like, built a dwelling, built another dwelling, built another dwelling. And Halflings were, like, next to all of them with infinity workers and nothing really else. Do you know what I mean? Like, I also had a perfect end game where literally no one bothered me. I didn't lock up the cults. Like, I got 140 gifted, and then, like, you didn't get your power, and Felice messed up her town. So I think it's pretty easy. Like you get a 2-for-1 and you have a more efficient town and knock out a gray. Felice gets a 3rd town plus network. My points come down. Like I think the difference between 2nd, 3rd, and 4th here is like not much has to happen. Someone sneezes at the table and all of a sudden 2nd, 3rd, and 4th has changed quite a bit.
So like one thing is like that G1 dig was pretty painful because then I had to dig E2. I mean, I think like either way, like I would have had to do an expensive TP in that town. But like having to dig E2 instead of starting to work on the C6 B6 town.
Yeah.
That E2 dig should have been
Right.
I think there was a round where Giants passed early instead of building G1, and I'm not sure exactly what the reasoning was, but I think there was some merit to securing G1 there. But
Just
yeah,
to
I
get
think
the
a lot
bridge.
could have
I think it
happened.
was like,
Oh, it was to get the bridge. Oh.
yeah.
Right.
Oh, okay. Well, then that didn't work. Fair enough.
Just before we wrap things up, if I realize people are sort of heading off, if folks have any questions for any of the players, just hammer them out in chat. Now's a good time to do that. Just getting back to chat quickly, Terra Steel says Brown with early digs is super busted. And yeah, I think Olaf, you said this earlier or something, but like this is something that's just generally said, or maybe it came in chat. It's just like Brown that gets early spades. That's when Brown is really good. Like I mean, any faction that gets a lot of digs early can snowball, but the real power from Brown just comes with the degree to which they can snowball if they get those early spades. There was I forget, there was a game that Zevok was commenting on. Maybe it was an F2O game or a stream that someone else was doing. Anyhow, but it was Brown had gotten early spades, and it was kind of, maybe he was just in chat, but anyhow, it was a comment like that like Brown getting double dig in round 1 and 2, it tends to be a winning line. Like that's just a good recipe for Brown winning on this map, is just getting access to lots of spades. Any other comments in from chat? Why Brown specifically? What makes them different than other factions that allow them to snowball? Well, I don't know. Does someone else want to try to take a swing at that? Why does Brown benefit more relative to other colors from getting access to early spades on lakes?
I mean, is it more than other colors? Like when mermaids get double dig two rounds in a row, it's pretty good too.
Yeah.
I think it's different, maybe because, I mean, I just, from the way I experienced it, I feel like mermaids' hexes are so many on the outside. So the double digs are always great, but I feel like the snowball is because you get the hexes from digging, which unlock new natural hexes. And with mermaids, for example, you don't really unlock that much that you wouldn't do anyways.
Yeah, I kind of agree with George Shortwell. Like when you get double
I think
spade
they
round
also
1 and
unlock a
round
lot of
2, like
sets.
what does that signal? You got tons and tons of leech round 1, and like that's just good.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. Actually, I was 1 power short of taking double dig on. Not that would have been a good move, but I was eyeing it just because I could already sense that if, because I knew that if I didn't take it, that halflings would get it. So
right.
It was this sense of impending doom from like round 1 for me.
Right.
So what do you do in a game like this? Do you try to go for a second, or do you, like, would you have taken the double dig actually to stop the snowball?
Yeah, I probably would have, and just to yeah, and I'm not sure that it would have been good. I mean, I think that's like almost as bad as like, or actually probably worse than Giants taking double dig. So it was one of those things where it passed through my mind. I was one power short, and I felt like if I was glad to be able to dismiss it as an idea because I was 1 power short. I think if I had the power to do it, I would. That's one of those decisions I would be sitting there going, do I do it or do I not do it? Because it's good with the various placements. I was thinking about, for example, and I'm not looking at the map right now, but in the middle of the board where I had placed, I think it was E3, one of my dwellings, there was a blue next to it and a yellow below that. And so I was actually thinking of locking those up round 1. So that way, if halflings did get temp ship, that they would need a second shipping in order to get to brown below that.
Right.
So that was kind of that was my only thinking. I wouldn't have, I wouldn't have just, I wouldn't have done it if I couldn't, get like those 3 important hexes. I knew those hexes were really key for halflings. Once temp ship fell into, your hands all off and you took that yellow, I mean, it was, so yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Yep.
want to see a world where Darklings take double dig.
I don't know that I don't know that I've seen it.
I don't know that I would have won or I would have done any better, but at least, yeah.
I think just to get back, just to close the, just to circle back on this question and try to firm it up a little bit better. Is it Euclid, I guess, is asking, so double dig on this map specifically then, just because of the choke points and tight space for towns. I think someone touched on it earlier about that mermaids' hexes are often on the outskirts. I think that, like, yes, anyone that gets double dig round 1 and 2, that's usually a sign that they're winning. They have a bunch of hexes, and it also is just like a proxy for the fact that they probably got a ton of leech. So that's like, those are all good things. I think the difference is it's like if you're playing green on this map, for instance, you can get double dig and not have any neighbors and not be securing any choke points and not necessarily still connect. I think the difference is brown is like where they want to develop. Like, there's major choke points in this game. A lot of them are yellow. D7 is one, G6 is one, F4 is one. Like, those are all choke points. And where brown, I find, likes to develop, and this is kind of vague, but I think I'm kind of onto something after playing like a million cultists game on this map, is that like where brown will dig when they dig is all the choke points. They get this entire southern stretch G4 to F7. Sometimes they get this northern stuff. Sometimes they get D7, which kind of plugs a hole into people east, like expanding east into the end of the game. Like, it's not uncommon to see brown, if they're exploding and doing well, developing as a ring in the center of the board as opposed to on the outskirts. Chaos magicians aren't going to benefit nearly as much from double dig. Engineers will, right? I think that's another example. But I think that's part of it with brown. And with brown, where they dig, they're apt to get neighbors later. You can dig as green and you can dig as blue and not necessarily have as much adjacency. But if you're a cultist, you tend to be digging near hexes on choke points where there's neighbors. You're getting cult steps, you're getting towns. It's kind of the same as halflings. You're getting neighbors, you're getting leech. It's kind of vague, but I think there's something to that like where brown tends to like to develop, that when they dig, it just like opens way more hexes than other colors through shipping, takes up important choke points, and gets them tons of adjacency for future downs. That's kind of my thought there. I don't know. Someone call bullshit on that if you think that's just me coming up with an excuse to say brown is broken, but I think that's the thing.
Also, the other thing is, like, I was given in round 1 with tempship, like, I had the option of going C5 A8, and that kills brown.
Yeah.
It kills them. But I made the choice to like go east, and instead, like, that's going to hurt Engie. So it's like, that was my call. Like, who do I hurt more, and what? Well, and it turns out it's more beneficial for me to go east.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and that is a bit of the chaos that giants throw into a game, is it's kind of random. Like, whose point ceiling are they reducing by 8 points in round 1 or 10 points or something? Like, I agree. I think you did what was best for you here. But
C5, like, then
that was more than 10 points. That would have been like
halflings don't connect.
Halflings don't connect. Darklings are up. Yeah, it kills a town.
30 points less, maybe. It's crazy how much that would have swung my game.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. Then maybe there's a world I beat you to D3. Like, I don't know. Those kind of early decisions can really just change the texture of the game so much. Yeah. In particular with giants, of course, it's hard to know where they're going to hit. Other factions, you can kind of figure it out a little bit easier. Where's cheap to dig? How many digs are they getting? With giants, it's just harder to know in auction.
Yeah.
Any kind of final thoughts before we wrap this up? Final tidbits of wisdom you'd like to leave the audience and those that stumble along this on YouTube?
Brown is busted, and giants are a lot harder to play than you expect, because you have to also consider how much you hurt other people, I think.
Fair enough.
Takeaway.
Awesome. Well, thank you all so much for doing this. I really appreciate having you on. It was like a real pleasure to play with you, the three of you, this evening. And yeah, I feel like we had good conversations and lots of good comments and stuff in chat. So this was a really fun game. And yeah, thank you again for coming on. Just before we wrap things up, I'll just going to announce quickly what we have as the next lineup for Open Table here. Please note that some of these times are subject to change a little bit, so it's always best just to jump in the Discord if you're not already in. There's a link at the bottom to join. I will just post announcements in advance to firm up the times, but tentatively this is what it's looking like. January 28th, also 8 p.m. Eastern, we have Mr. Fickles coming from USA. We've got returning guest Danny B. Always good to have Danny on. And then Dongachot from Austria. I'm going to probably butcher his username. Then on February 4th, OK, who is an incredible player. Encountered a lot in Arena from USA. Snake Xer's coming back on, and Flovo from Germany. And then I'm taking a couple of weeks off. We'll be back at the end of February. Smoo, 725 and Space Cowboy. Hilarious collection of usernames coming on at the end of the month. And then I'll let you folks know what's happening. I mean, no one cares what's happening in March at this point, so I won't bother telling you. But yeah, that's it for now. Thanks again for coming on, and I'll see you all on the next stream. Bye for now, everyone.
Thanks for hosting.
All right, fun game.
Thanks, everyone.